Welcome to one of the most in-depth courses you will see in the AI agency space. Over the next 6 hours, I'm going to be breaking down to you exactly how I would go and sign my first 10 AI agency clients for completely free, using minimal spend, no spend whatsoever, using minimal resources whatsoever, and being able to charge people high ticket prices of 3K upfront and 997 a month. Now, what you are about to see is a 6-day event where I literally pulled back the curtain for my own 5K program. I literally charge people 5K in order to be able to work with me one-on-one and get access to the same strategies that I'm going to be showing you guys right here today for free. Now, genuinely, you have to be an idiot or you have to be extremely lazy in order for you to not see results from using this system, from using this framework that I'm going to walk you across for the next couple of hours. The most important thing I need you to do is be able to implement and actually take action, because without that you are not going to see any kind of benefit, you are not going to see any kind of value from watching this entire course here today. Now, the course is broken down across 6 days for the 6-day challenge that I done. Now, we understand what the bigger picture is. We understand the ultimate goal, right, for most of you is to be able to go and build this scalable, productizable agency. But in order to get there, we need to understand why you are where you currently and why you are not where you want to be already. Now, the reason why most agencies are already failing is because they believe the system itself is what clients are buying into. They believe how cool the technology is what actually sells a client and makes them want to come and work with you. And they're solving low value problems. They're solving problems like, hey, we're going to help you with your missed calls. Hey, we're going to make sure no leads fall through the cracks. And because they solve a low value problem, they get paid a low ticket price for solving that problem. Now, most people that I speak to, they end up spinning their wheels for weeks, for months, learning about all these different types of technologies. Hey, how cool is this voice AI system? Or how can I build this chatbot? Or how can I build this reputation management? They spend weeks, months, some of them even years, before they ever even go and work with a single client. They spend weeks, months, years trying to learn about something that they've never actually implemented for a single person. And that in and of itself is why they fail, because they get caught into a hamster wheel of learning, and never actually taking action and understanding what clients actually want. Business owners, right? They only care about one thing. I've worked in 50 different niches in 2025 alone. And in 2025 alone, I've seen that business owners only care about one thing. They don't care about your fancy tech stack. They care about how you are actually going to help them make more money. Business is really simple. If I come and work with you, if I give you $1, how on earth are you going to turn my $1 into 2? And if you can't show them how you are going to do that, then they are not going to find you valuable. If you can't show them how you are going to actually help them make a return on investment from working with you, if you can't show them how you're going to generate them new opportunities, if you can't show them how you're going to turn that $1 into 2, if you can't show them this, then they will never, ever pay you a high ticket price. And that's why some of you are stuck charging $297, $497 a month, because that is the value of what you are offering. When you solve a problem like, hey, we're going to fix your missed calls, we're going to make sure no leads fall through the cracks, you're solving a problem that in the business owner's eyes is only worth $297 to $497 a month. Now, here's what most agency owners do. They'll take the approach of, hey, we're going to reactivate your database. But the problem with that is one-dimensional. How many people do you think are inside of someone's database? Let's just say at most the person has 5,000 people inside of their database. It might take you a week, 2 weeks maybe to work through that entire database in order to call everyone with the voice AI agent, in order to text everyone, email everyone, whatever it may be. What happens after that? What happens after you've worked through the entire 5,000 person database? You're out of leads to work with. It's a one-trick pony that only lasts 1 to 2 months max. Someone may pay you for a month or 2 months in order for you to work through their database. But what happens when you are done working through all those leads? The client cancels because there's nothing left to do. You need to be generating new opportunities consistently and not just recycling old ones. If you find yourself in the trap of just reactivating someone's database, you are creating a problem in and of. Now, how do you get out of this trap? You need to understand that for every single person that you are working with, you need to be able to generate them new opportunities that would not have been there if you did not implement your service. You need to generate them new opportunities that would not have been there without you. This database was already there before you and it will already be there after you. Whether you call them, text them, email them, whatever, whatnot, you're not generating them anything new. You're not generating them something that wasn't already there in the first place. Let's look at the missed calls problem, right? When you pitch the approach of an AI agent that texts people whenever you miss a call, or an AI agent that picks up the phone to make sure you don't need a receptionist and make sure you don't miss any calls. When you pitch this problem, right, here's what's actually wrong. These people have had this problem for months, years, maybe, and they haven't done anything to solve that problem in the weeks, the months, the years that they've had this problem. They do not need you to tell them that they have this issue. They know. Trust me, they know that they have this issue. They don't need you to tell them that they have this issue. Truth is, right, if they cared about this issue enough to fix it, then they would have already fixed it by now. But they don't see it as genuinely valuable. They don't see that problem as something that makes sense for them to fix. They haven't dedicated the time, the energy, the resources towards fixing that problem because they don't see it as valuable enough. If they did, if they saw missing calls as a problem that's costing them $10,000 a month, don't you think they would have fixed it by now already? The truth is, not every single business has the kind of volume where fixing a problem like missed calls even makes sense. Sure, let's think about it logically, right? In business, there's always someone in first place and there's always someone in last place. Now, the person in first place, right? Sure, that person in first place, they probably have the problem of missing calls, leads are falling through the cracks, which, by the way, in business is a good problem to have because it means that they don't have a problem generating business, but they have a problem staying on top of the business. Think about that problem in and of itself, right? Leads falling through the cracks and missed calls. Is that problem universal? Does that problem apply to every business across the board? No, it doesn't. There's people in first place who have that problem. Yeah, sure. But what about the people who are stuck in middle place, who are stuck in last place, who don't have a problem staying on top of the leads, who don't have a problem missing calls, but they have a problem actually generating the leads in the first place? What you are doing is you're building a solution that only works for businesses who have that problem of leads are falling through the cracks, we're missing calls. Only they would find your solution as valuable. And that means you've limited yourself, right, to a very niche market where there is not a large market of businesses who constantly have the phone going off, who constantly miss calls, who constantly have leads falling through the cracks. There are not a lot of businesses that you can actually sell that solution to. Think about it in general. When you go and search up for a plumber near you, there's always someone who comes up in first place on Google. And then there's always someone who comes up in last place. If you are building a solution, right, that only applies to those people in first place, you do not have something that is scalable. You do not have a massive market to work in. You want to build something that is universal, that applies across the board for every single plumbing business in the world. That's what you ideally want to lean towards. If you are building a solution that just solves the problem of missed calls, that just helps people make sure there's no leads falling through the cracks, you're building something that does not apply universally across every single plumbing business in the world. And let's be completely honest, it's a low value problem. Even if you're helping someone in first place answer their missed calls and make sure no leads fall through the cracks, you're not generating them something that wasn't there in the first place. You're helping them essentially keep what they've already got. It's a low value problem. Now, instead of going through this phase, right, instead of dealing with all these problems, what you need to be able to do is you need to be able to create something that is universal, that solves a problem across the entire market. a problem that applies across the entire market. So if we're working with plumbers, for example, instead of me offering a missed call system, or instead of me offering a database reactivation system, which is one dimensional, which means I'm only valuable for 1 to 2 months, which means I'm only solving a low value problem. Why don't I take the approach of trying to generate them new opportunities that would not have been there with or without me? Mr. Plumber, I'll bring you 5 jobs within the next 30 days. Now this is universal. My offer applies to someone who's in first place or last place. Someone in first place always wants more jobs, and someone in last place, all they want is more jobs, right? What I've created is an offer that is universal, that applies to anyone who's in first place and anyone who's in last place. The offer that I'm building, right, the system that I'm building that is designed to bring plumbers 5 jobs in the next 30 days, that applies to every single plumber in the world. If you ask them, hey, if we brought you 5 jobs in the next 30 days, would you be interested in that? Every single one of them would say yes. If you go and ask every plumber in the world, hey, if we gave you a bot that just answered your missed calls and reactivated your database, would you find that valuable? Maybe those people in first place would, but I guarantee you that is not an offer that is applicable and universal to the entire market. Now, one thing I want you guys to understand, right, is when you're going out and approaching these businesses, you need to understand every single one of these businesses has probably worked with an agency before. They've already spoken to someone like you before. They've tried the Facebook ads, the Google ads, the SEO. They've heard the same pitch every single time. They've heard it over 100 times. These business owners have been in business for years. You are not the first person that's reaching out to them, and you're definitely not going to be the last. If you've been hurt in a relationship and you see certain red flags in a person, right, that hurt you, when you go and date new people, if you see those same red flags come up again, you're going to be ticked off by it, right? You're going to run away. You're going to think, wait, these are the same red flags that have hurt me in the past. Why on earth would I ignore them now when I can see that they're occurring again in this new person? You're going to run away, right? And it's kind of like the same thing with these businesses that you're trying to work with. If you're working with a business owner who's already worked with a Facebook ads guy before, and that Facebook ads guy charged them $1,500 a month, and they got 0 leads and nothing worked out for them, and they didn't book any jobs. When you go into that call with them, if you're trying to pitch them the same exact thing of like Facebook ads, they're going to look at you automatically with skepticism. They're automatically going to associate that negative experience that they've previously had with this new experience that you are trying to sell them. So what you need to do, right, is you need to come up with something new. You need to be able to differentiate yourself from everyone else. You have to position yourself differently from every other agency that they have worked with, that they've spoken to. Now, when you position yourself differently and when you come across as someone, right, who can help them do something which they have not tried before, naturally as humans, we have a sense of optimism. When you guys started your AI agency, when you looked into this space, you had a sense of optimism. Why? Because it's not something you've tried before. Naturally, as humans, right, we have a sense of optimism to new things that we have not been exposed to, because when we don't understand it yet, we haven't learned about it yet, and we have optimism for it because we know it's new and that there's a chance that it may actually work. If you go into a new relationship with someone who has completely different traits from someone who's previously hurt you, you are going to be optimistic because they are offering you something that person previously did not offer you. These new traits, for example, could be exactly what you are looking for in order to end up happy, right? Same exact logic. You have to position yourself differently from every other agency that they've worked with. Now, in phase 1, we need to become very, very clear on who you are working with, what you are doing, and how you are doing it. We need to become crystal clear on these 3 things before you do anything else. We need to build a solid strategy and a solid foundation. Because most of you watching this video here today, let's face it, most of you have no strategy at all, and most of you have no foundation at all. You're running around in circles, spinning on that hamster wheel because you're doing things randomly, because you have no strategy, you have no foundation. You understand what the bigger picture is. All of us do. The bigger picture, the only reason why you're watching this video here today is for what? Saeed, I want to build an agency that's scalable, that's productizable, that's profitable. You want to build an agency that provides you that freedom. right? That provides you that income, right? That is scalable and productizable. But that's the bigger picture. What do you need to do to actually get there? What is the step-by-step process? If I was to ask most of you to actually pull out a pen and paper and write down exactly what you're going to do, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, in order to get to that bigger picture, most of you would have no clue whatsoever. And that's kind of the reason why you're watching this video here today, right? In order to help you and give you those steps, in order to provide you those steps that you need to take in order to get towards that bigger picture. In order to get to that bigger picture, you need to have a strategy. You need to have a foundation. I did not sign 50 clients in 30 days by accident. I did not sign 50 clients in 30 days because I was lucky. I signed 50 clients in 30 days because I had a very clear strategy. I had a very clear foundation. I knew exactly who I was working with, and I knew exactly what I was offering to them. My strategy and my foundation acted as the backbone that I followed for every single step in my journey. Now, step number 1, you need to understand who you are working with. You need to pick one niche that you are going to work with and not 5. Because when I signed 50 clients in 180 days, right? I wasn't working with roofers, with plumbers, with HVAC. I chose one specific niche that I worked with. One specific niche. And for me, right, I worked with real estate agents. I wasn't working with plumbers and then roofers. I wasn't working with multiple different niches at once. Why? Because when I'm working with a real estate agent, right, every single real estate agent that I speak to knows that I specifically understand the issues that they're going through and knows that I specifically know how to deal with those issues and actually help them get a result. When someone books a call with me, every single real estate agent that speaks with me has seen my entire funnel. They've seen, okay, this guy's worked with 50 other agents already. He's got 50 plus reviews on Trustpilot. He only works with real estate agents. Automatically, I am the authority within that niche. When I'm speaking to real estate agents, they know that I speak their language. They know that I understand their problems. If I went and approached a plumber, right, and then they book a call with me, but everything that they see before they speak with me is like, okay, I've worked with a real estate agent and I've worked with a roofer and I've worked with a HVAC company. How do they feel the confidence to know that I can actually solve their problem? How do they feel the confidence to know that I can actually help them? They don't. They're looking at me as some sort of glorified bot builder. And that's what you essentially are. The last thing you want to do is position yourself as a glorified freelancer. You want to position yourself as the authority within the niche and dominate, right? You want to dominate your field. The only way you can do that is by choosing one niche, right? Start with one. You might test one and decide that, hey, this isn't the right one for me, and you might change it. And that's fine. You might start with 2 or 3 just to test and find which one you have that sweet spot with. But ultimately, you need to be working with a niche so that you can become the authority and so that you can build, right, one system and sell it to multiple people. What do I mean by that? When I worked with real estate agents, I solved a universal problem for these real estate agents. I wasn't solving the problem of, hey guys, we're going to sort your missed calls out, or hey guys, we're going to reactivate your database. No, I solved one universal problem, which is every single real estate agent, they want more home buyers and they want more home sellers. Simple, right? Now, because I developed a system that is universal, every single real estate agent in the world, they want more home buyers and more home sellers. I'm able to take that system that I built one time for one client and sell it 50 plus times. And that's exactly what I did. After I got my first client results, right? Essentially the same exact framework I used for that first client. The same framework I used for that client, I sold it 50 plus times. Of course, I iterated my product. Of course, I improved my product. I made it better every time. But ultimately, the framework of what I was selling remained the exact same. Every single thing that I sold to that first client, every single thing that I built for that first client was the same things that I sold to clients number 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up until client number 50. I built something, I put my time and energy into something one time, and I was able to profit from it 50 plus times. Now, I've worked in 50 different niches in the last year alone. There's so many different niches. These are just some examples of niches that you can work with. It really doesn't matter. All you want to do is pick one niche at the start and dominate it. Now, once you understand who you are working with, the next thing you need to understand is, what do these people actually want? Because when I chose working with real estate agents do not want a voice AI system. Real estate agents do not want a Facebook ad. What they want is more home buyers and more home sellers. But so many of you believe that what you are building, what you are selling, is what actually gets the client to pay you, which could not be further from the truth. Your clients don't give a damn. They don't care about voice AI. They don't care about Facebook ads. They don't care about what it is you do to get them a result. They care about the result itself. The reason why they're paying you is for you to figure out how you're going to get them a result. But ultimately, the only reason they're paying you is because they have a vision in their head. When I pay Saeed X amount for 1 month, I know by the second month he's going to bring me X amount of home buyers or sellers. That's all they care about, right? Now, examples of bad offers that you should not be using: will help you with your missed calls, will handle your customer service, will reactivate your database. Nobody cares about this stuff, right? What does this stuff lead to? Now, let's say, right, what business owners only care about outcome based. They're outcome based, right? Business is business. Business is really simple. If I work with you, what do I get out of it? I understood that real estate agents only want one thing, which is more listings. They want more home buyers and more home sellers. So when I was approaching these real estate agents, I was not saying to them, hey, I'm going to build you an AI agent that helps you with your missed calls. No, I'm selling the same exact technology as you guys, but I'm positioning myself completely differently. I'm saying to them, hey, I'm going to bring you 5 new listings in the next 90 days. If I'm working with a dentist, for example, hey, I'm going to bring you 5 new root canal patients in the next 30 days. If I'm working with a HVAC company or a roofer or a plumber, I'm going to bring you 5 new jobs in the next 30 days. That is all these people care about. Now, what do these offers, right, that work, what do these offers have in common? They're specific. Look at this: 5 new listings, 5 new root canal patients, 5 new jobs. It's specific. I'm specifically, right, telling them what I am going to do for them. I've got a specific offer attached. This is exactly what I'm going to bring you: 5 new listings. I'm telling you how long it's going to take me to bring it to you: in the next 90 days. Right? And it's universal. Every single real estate agent in the world, it doesn't matter if they're a top performer or if they're struggling, every single one of them would like an extra 5 listings in the next 90 days. Of course they would. And it's outcome focused, right? I'm focused on what I'm actually bringing to these people. And more importantly than not, it's trackable. They can hold me to account. In 90 days, if I'm not able to bring them 5 new listings, then they know that this partnership was not a success. Now, most of you are thinking, Saeed, how on earth am I going to be able to bring someone 5 new listings in the next 90 days? You need to understand, what do they want at their core? Real estate agents, they want more home buyers and sellers. Roofers, they want more book jobs. So that is what our whole offer resonates around. How we are going to bring it to them is what we cover in the next step. How we are doing it. But we need to become very clear on what our offer is. Because without a solid offer, it doesn't matter what we are doing, right? I'm selling the same technology as you guys. I also build and sell AI agents. But what I'm building these AI agents to do is completely different to what you're doing, which we will cover in the next step. Now, at this point, right, our strategy and our foundation is coming together. We know exactly who we are working with, and now we know exactly what we are offering to them. We know what we are going to be doing for them. We know what they care about. How are we going to actually deliver it? Now we need to choose, right, a vehicle that we are going to use in order to deliver them this offer. So if I'm working with a real estate agent and my offer is, hey, I'm going to bring you 5 new listings within the next 90 days, I need to be able to actually deliver that, right? What vehicle am I going to use in order to be able to get this person the result that I have promised them? Now, here's the critical part, right? Your traffic strategy really depends on the niche that you are working with. Now, there's 2 different ways of generating new opportunities, and which one you use depends on the type of person that you are working with. This is the part where we move on to AI. But AI is just the vehicle. What I am selling them is the offer. 5 new listings in 90 days. AI is just a vehicle that helps me get them that bigger picture. So if I'm working with a real estate agent and my offer is to bring them 5 new listings within the next 90 days, AI is just the vehicle that I am using, just a means that I am using to help me actually deliver that offer to them within the next 90 days. Now, earlier on I mentioned you need to take a unique approach. You need to understand the industry that we're in. AI now offers us multiple different avenues of generating opportunities for our clients which they have never tried before. And I'm not talking about using an AI agent to answer missed calls. I'm not talking about using an AI agent for database reactivation. I'm going deeper than that. What is the actual use case, right? What is an actual way I can use AI as a means to generate new opportunities for a client? Now, what I'm going to walk you guys through is an approach that we've actually used across 50 different niches. This specific approach applies for real estate companies, HVAC companies, roofers, home remodelers, plumbers, contractors. This specific model, right, is where we are actively generating new opportunities by finding people who need the service and calling them proactively with our AI agent. So I'll give you an example. What I used to do for real estate agents was I was able to go and scrape public data. So for example, there's always people who are cancelling their listings and there's people who are selling their homes by themselves for sale by owner leads, right? What I'm able to do is I'm able to go and scrape the expired listings, and then what do? I say, Mr. Real Estate Agent, what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to scrape all these leads for in your area who are for sale by owners and who are expired listings. I'm going to call 1,000 of them every single day on your behalf, and I'm going to make them an offer. When you come and list your home with us, we're going to give you a free home inspection, or we're going to cover a portion of the buyer rebate, or whatever it may be. We're going to create an offer to lure, right, these home sellers who are cancelling their listings, who are with another agent, or who are selling by themselves to come and list with us. We're going to call 1,000 of these people a day. We're going to make them an offer. Out of those 1,000 people a day that we call, isn't it realistic one of them says yes to our offer and wants to work with us? Is that not realistic, Mr. Realtor? Of course it is. Now, if we add that up, that's 7 appointments per week. That's 28 appointments per month. That's what? Each listing is worth $10,000 plus to you, right? That's $280,000 worth of opportunity that we've generated for you that would have never been there, that you would have never seen without this system that we've implemented into your business. Now, from that $280,000, let's say you are the worst salesperson in the world and you only close 5 out of those 28 people. That's still $50,000 in revenue. You're paying me $3,000 up front for the setup and $997 a month. And you're walking away with $50,000 in a single month, by the way. This is just in the first month. Does that not seem like a deal that's worth it to you, Mr. Real Estate Agent? Of course it is. And now look at what I've delivered to this person. I understand what their bigger picture is, right? My whole offer is I'm going to bring you 5 new listings in the next 90 days. Well, I've just literally showed them a step-by-step process, right? On how I'm going to bring them 5 listings in 30 days, right? And I showed them the entire process that I'm going to use to help them get there. I'm helping them buy into the vision. I'm helping them buy into the picture. I'm not selling AI. Look at what I've done here. The AI agent is just one very small piece of the puzzle. Ultimately, what I'm delivering them is so much more than just a singular AI agent. I'm delivering them an entire service where I'm going to go and find 1,000 homeowners who are expired listings or for sale by owners every single day. I'm going to call 1,000 of them every single day. I'm going to make them an offer. Out of 1,000 of them, we just want 1 to say yes. 7 people. If we do that for a month, that's 28 people. Is that not realistic for you to close 5 out of 28, Mr. Realtor? Of course it is. What am I doing, guys? I'm helping them visualize a way, right, where I'm not selling them AI. I'm selling them that offer, and I'm using AI as a means to actually show them, hey, this is a vehicle that we are going to use in order to help you get the outcome that you desire. Now, this is just one example. Inside of this document that you all have access to, I've got other examples. I've done this in the roofing niche. All these different examples available to you so that you can implement something similar for these own home service based businesses. I've taken an approach like this for over 30 different niches. You have to be creative, and when you are creative and use AI simply as a vehicle to get your client the outcome that they desire, that is when they buy into it. They don't care about the AI itself, they care about what the AI can do for them. Now, this specific use case, approach number one, may not be applicable to every single niche. For example, if you're working with dentists or chiropractors or med spas, where the hell can you find publicly accessible data where people are registering their interest for a root canal repair or teeth whitening or fixing their back problems? That's not publicly accessible data that's easy for you to scrape online. So what would you do in the case of working with one of these types of niches? The goal remains the same. You need to generate new opportunities. You need to generate new interests for them. But how, right? How are you going to generate new opportunities for dentists, for chiropractors or med spas? Again, you're going to use AI, but you're using AI as a means, right, to be able to deliver them that new opportunity. So, because you can't necessarily find publicly accessible data, you need to generate the data yourself. And the easiest way to do that is through paid ads. This approach works for dentists because you can't just scrape a list of people who are interested in teeth whitening or people who need a root canal. That just doesn't exist publicly. There's not a publicly accessible directory like there is for companies where we can find people who have permits on their AC system. That data is publicly accessible. For dentists, for chiropractors, for gyms, that's not publicly accessible data to find these people, can we? So you need to be the one that generates that interest yourself. And the easiest way to do that, right, is through ads. And launching ads for these dentists is what's going to bring the interest and generate new opportunities. Now, when you are running ads, there is a very specific process that you want to follow. The thing is, when you launch ads, right, there's already winning offers within your niche. If you're running ads for a dentist, for example, what I want you guys to actually do is go onto the Meta Ads library and literally search up keywords like teeth whitening or Invisalign and find the ads, right, that your competition have been running for a week, over a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. If someone has been running an ad for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and they're continuously running it, that tells you, wait, this person's been running this ad for 2 to 3 weeks. If they keep spending money on it, clearly this ad is working. Nobody spends money on something that doesn't work. If they've been running that ad for 2 to 3 weeks, then you know that that ad is working. You know that it is getting this person results. So what you can do is you can literally look at what is the offer that they are running. Is the offer that they are running 50% off on your first teeth whitening consultation? What is the actual ad that they are running? And you take that offer as your own. Take that offer and use that offer. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You don't need to become an innovative person that creates something from completely scratch. Ads are really simple. If it's working for another dentist, take that offer and use it for your client. Because likeliness is, if it's working over there, it's going to work over here too. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. Use that same offer and run lead form ads. Run lead form ads where you collect this person's name, email, phone number, and as soon as you collect this person's information, what you are then going to do is use the AI to call them within 30 seconds. So Mr. Dentist, we're going to run Facebook ads every single day generating new leads. We're going to be using ads that have already been tested and proven in the marketplace. We're going to be running ads that your competition has been spending money on for the last 2 to 3 weeks. We know that offer is performing. So what we are going to do is set you up with the same offer in your specific area, and that is how we are going to generate new interest. Now, what we are going to do is as soon as these leads give us their name, email, and number, we are going to get our AI to call them within 30 seconds. As soon as they send us their information, our bot is going to pick up the phone and call them within 30 seconds. Now, I know, Mr. Dentist, you've probably tried ads before. Maybe they didn't work for you before. How long was it taking you to reach out to those leads that were coming in from the ads that you previously ran? A couple of hours? A couple of days? Do you think that's efficient? Whereas, think of it like this. When someone gives us their information and within 30 seconds they get a phone call, how likely is it that they pick up the phone? Pretty likely, right? Seeing as they just gave us their information 30 seconds ago, it's pretty likely that they will pick up the phone. What are we doing? We have the highest chance of now booking them in for a consultation, Mr. Dentist. Why? When we can meet someone at their highest point of interest, when someone opts in their information, that is the most interested they are going to be in our offer. Would you agree? Of course. And as time goes on, they become less and less interested. Now, your ads that you previously ran, it was taking you hours, days to reach out to these leads. And what happened? The interest started off really high. And because you took a lot of time to reach out to them, their interest died out. Whereas if we can meet them at their highest point of interest, as soon as they opt in, we get the bot to pick up the phone and call them. We have the highest chance of actually booking them into an appointment. Now, if they don't answer straight away, we're going to obviously follow up with them over the next 28 days. We're going to be emailing them, texting them, making sure that every single lead, we have the highest chance of converting these people as possible. Now, let's say we get 20 leads per week from ads. That's 80 leads per month. On top of that, we're reactivating your database just as like, hey, we'll sort that out as an additional. Now, let's be pessimistic, Mr. Dentist. Let's say out of those 80 leads per month that we bring you, being super pessimistic, you're the worst salesperson ever, or our bot performs terribly and we're only able to convert 10% of those people. Each teeth whitening patient is worth $500 to you. That's $4,000 in revenue from just 10% of conversion. That's still you walking away with over $4,000 in the worst case scenario. And that's in month 1. What about month 2? We keep the system going. Your pipeline stays full. New leads are coming in. And every single month after month 1 is straight profit. Now, why does this approach work better for dentists? Because you're creating the demand, right? People don't just wake up and think, I need teeth whitening today. You need to be able to actually entice them into wanting to take that kind of action. You can target specific demographics. The offer creates urgency and it's instant response, right? Take this approach. This is literally a whole approach that you can use for dentists, for chiropractors, for med spas, cosmetic. All these different niches apply to this specific approach. The goal remains the same, guys. A dentist, what do they want? 5 new teeth whitening patients a month. Again, look at my pitch. All I'm doing is showing them my vehicle, showing them a means, showing them how my AI agent, how my service, right, is going to help them get towards that bigger picture. Now, which approach should you use? Obviously, use approach 1 if your niche has publicly accessible data like permits, listings, property records, and use approach 2 if you can't easily find people who need the service via public data. There's also ways that you can combine both approaches if that's what you want to do. Now, what you guys need to build from this is a document which literally outlines who you're working with, what you're doing, and how you are doing it. You need to have a document that is very, very clear on who you're working with, what you are doing for them, and how exactly you are doing it. I've attached some examples for you guys to look at. This is an approach for a real estate agent, an approach for a HVAC company, an approach for a home remodeler or a contractor, a roofer, a dentist, a chiropractor. All these different examples that I've given you guys, you need to build a document which is super in depth, which goes into who you are working with, what you are doing for them, and how you are doing it. All 3 steps which we have covered on this call here today. Now, there's a universal law, right? I've worked in 50 different niches, and the universal law across all niches is all business owners care about is what is the outcome of working with you. Who you're working with, what you're doing, and how you're doing it, right? That pitch that I took you guys through for a real estate agent and for a dentist, what is it? All it is a vehicle. It's a means. I'm trying to help someone visualize and understand how I'm going to get them that bigger picture. Ultimately, all they care about is the result itself that I am going to bring them. Now, if you are able, right, to create an offer that is able to actually get someone that bigger picture, and you have a service that is designed to just act as a vehicle to deliver them that bigger picture, then you have nailed it. That's what you need to master in order to close high ticket sales in any niche. You need to be able to help someone visualize how you are going to bring them an outcome, how they are going to pay you $1 and you are going to turn it into two. That is the whole goal. You need to build a solid strategy and a solid foundation on who you are working with, what you are doing for them, and how you are doing it. And once you create that, everything that follows in this entire course is going to make so much sense, because everything we covered here today is what we are going to refer back to when we are acquiring our clients, when we're selling our clients. Everything is going to be referred back to on this call here today. Now, this is your checklist for phase 1. This entire document, which covers each day of the 6-hour course that we are about to go into, is available inside the school community, which is inside the description below and inside of the pinned comment. Now, let's get this show on the road. As you can see, in this document that I am walking through today, we are going to be showing you exactly how to build a client acquisition system, how to get your first client, right, without building a thing. Now, most people that I speak to, they've been in the game for weeks, they've been in the game for months, they've spent all this time spinning on that hamster wheel. They've spent all this time building some sort of sexy system, building some sort of shiny object, building something that they don't even know if people actually want to buy. They have no idea whether or not what they're building is even valuable. They spend all their time thinking, oh, this voice AI system is great, it's so cool, it's going to help get people results. And they spend all this time looking into all these different systems, all these different shiny objects, is what I call it, right? They spend all this time looking into all these different things, thinking that what they are doing is going to work, but really and truly, they have no idea whether or not their clients actually even want this in the first place. And then they wonder why they have 0 clients, why they've spent weeks, why they've spent months stuck on this cycle of just spinning their wheels, and why they haven't even managed to sign a single client. Now, here's the reality. You don't need a perfect system. You don't actually even need to have a single thing built out. You don't need to know exactly what you are going to do for someone before you go and work with them. The thing you do need in order to start signing clients is what? You need to speak to people. If you only speak to 5 people a month, that means you only have 5 opportunities to sign 5 clients every single month. Whereas when you compare to someone like me, I speak to 100 people a month, and that's on a bad month. On a bad month, I speak to 100 people. Now, logically, we have to look at what is the difference between someone who's speaking to 5 people a month and someone like me who speaks to, on a bad month, 100 people. It's really, really simple. You have 5 opportunities a month to close a client. I have 100 opportunities a month to close a client. Let's say you're the best salesperson in the world. Even if you're the best salesperson in the world, you take 5 calls a month, I take 100 calls a month, I would still bet on myself. I still have a higher chance of closing more clients than you do, because I'm basically speaking to 100 times more people than you are. It's really, really simple. In order for you to close clients, what do you need? You need conversations. You need to speak to people. You need people showing up who are interested in what you do, who have the intention of buying from you. If you're only speaking to 5 people a month, it's crazy. It tells you everything you need to know about why you currently are in the exact position that you're in. It tells you everything you need to know about why you have 0 clients, why nobody is interested in working with you, because you're not having enough conversations. And most people, what do? Oh, it's my system's fault. Oh, I need to go and build something else. Oh, I need to look at this shiny object. Yesterday, we diagnosed, right, that the system itself, what you do itself, nobody cares about that. Not a single business in the world cares about Facebook ads. Not a single business in the world cares about a voice AI agent. Not a single business in the world cares about what it is you do. They care about the outcome of what you do. They care about how you are going to get them that result. And really and truly, you have no idea whether or not you can actually get someone a result or not until you work with them. So what kind of sense does it make for you to spend weeks, for you to spend months trying to build something based on your own validation, based on what you think is going to work, based on what you think is going to get someone results, Would it not make sense for you to actually go into the market, sign that client, and use that client essentially as a laboratory? Use that client to test different angles, right? Test different offers, get experience in the field, get experience dealing with clients, understand their expectations, and ultimately be able to prove to yourself, be able to prove to your client, be able to prove to the world that you can actually get someone a result. And that's exactly what I do. That's exactly what every single one of my clients do. We work in reverse. Before you ever build anything for anybody, you go and sign that client first. Before you ever build a voice AI agent, or before you ever go and build out the ads, or before you ever go and do someone's reputation management, we want you to go and approach people, speak to people, conversate with people, have sales calls, and actually get in front of people and try to close these people, try to get them on as a client. Now, you guys are probably thinking, wait, I don't feel confident in that side. I've been spinning my wheels all this time because, I want to make sure that when I do work with someone, that I feel confident enough that I can get them a result. I want to feel confident enough that I can actually help them. Of course you do. It's logical. Of course you want to help someone get results. And I'm a big advocate in actually making sure your clients get results. But you have no idea right now. If you're building something, right? Before you go and never even speak to someone, you may be caught in this cycle where you spend a couple of weeks or you spend a couple of months building this system that, based on your own validation, you think this system is going to work. You think this system is what the market needs. You go and start speaking to people, and then you kind of lose that optimism because the market is shitting all over you. Excuse my French. Nobody wants to buy it. Nobody thinks it's interesting. Nobody sees any kind of value in what you have built. Why? Because you've built something based on your own validation. You've built something that you think is going to work, not what the market wants. And the market works in a very, very simple way. Hey, this is what I want. This is my demands. If I'm a real estate agent, all I care about is home buyers and home sellers. If I'm a HVAC company owner, all I care about is more book jobs in my calendar. The market has very clear wants. And yesterday, what we covered is identifying those needs of the market, identifying the different niches and different needs, different demands that these niches have. Great. Now, once we identify these demands, once we identify what these niches want, right, then we developed, okay, how are we going to actually help them get that result? Now that we are very, very clear, yesterday's session was very strategically placed there to make sure that we get you out of that pile of shit that you're currently in. Because right now, you're just spinning your wheels, you're doing random things every day, you don't know what's working, you don't know what's not working. Yesterday's session was so important because, number one, we developed who are you actually working with? What are you doing for these people? What do these people want? What's their main goal? What's the outcome that we are going to bring for them? And how are we going to deliver them that outcome? Those of you, right, that dropped all of those, that actually went into the school community yesterday and sent in those documents yesterday, pat yourselves on the back. Because I think we had 20, 30 people on the call yesterday, and I can only see 5 or 6 documents inside of the community. Those 5 or 6 of you who did drop your document inside of the chat yesterday inside of school, pat yourself on the back, because all 5 of you, all 6 of you today, you are directly going to see why it was so important that we focused on that first. Today, you are going to be able to see, okay, now for me to go and approach a client and get that first client, get my first 10 clients, is going to be very, very simple. We've got the bigger picture. We know exactly who you're working with, what you're doing for them, how you're doing it. Now we are going to build that step-by-step process in order for you to get there. Now, like I was saying, we want you to sign your first client before you ever even build anything for anyone, right? And here's what I believe you should do. If you genuinely have the fear, right? You've never worked with a client before. You've never charged anyone for anything before. Some of my clients that come in and work with me, I tell them straight away, look, I think for you, the best idea for you would probably be to go and get your client, that first client, on a free trial. Build it for them for completely free. Get them results, turn them into a case study, and use that leverage to be able to charge every other client after that 3K upfront, 997 a month. Now, Before you all just start leaving the call and I don't want to work with anyone for free. Think of it logically. Are you guys in this for the short term or are you in this for the long term? Now, I don't know about you guys, but for me personally, I want to be in this space for the next 10, 20, 30 years. I know there's still a shit ton of growth to happen in this space. I want to be in this space for the next 10, 20, 30 years. I'm not in a rush to build a massive agency from my first client. I'm not in a rush to make a ton of money from my first client. If you have never worked with a client before, right? If you never even delivered someone a service before, if you've never even got someone results before, why on earth would it make sense for you to go and put a ton of pressure on yourself, try and sign that first client for 3K upfront and 997 a month? Why would you put that pressure on yourself? And think about how difficult it would actually be for you to get that first client. How many calls do you think you're going to have to go through? Bearing in mind, you have no leverage, you have no case studies, you don't even really know what you're doing, you don't even know really what you do works, you don't have anything in place, you don't have the experience, you don't have the skills, you don't have any of that, yet you expect someone on the first ever client you sign to give you 3K upfront and 997 a month. It doesn't make sense. Whereas if you sign that first client as a lab rat, if you sign that first client on a 7-day trial, you don't have to work with them for free forever. No. All you are using that client for, right, to test your service delivery. Get real market feedback. Instead of building something in your room, building something that you think is going to work, building something based on your own validation, go into the marketplace and work with a real client. Understand the market live. Work in the market live and see what is working. Get that experience. Expose yourself to these things. If you've never worked with a client before, you need to expose yourself to these things. Understand what kinds of expectations do these clients hold for me? How do I actually communicate with these clients? How do I deal with these clients? You're going to be essentially developing yourself in so many different areas just by taking on that first client you're building your leverage. Mr. Real Talk, if I come and work with you for the first 7 days, completely risk-free, you don't pay me a dime, completely risk-free trial, all I want from you is literally a 20 to 30 minute interview where we can sit down with you and go through exactly how we got you results. If we get you one booking, would you be open to that? Of course they would be. And that 20 to 30 minute interview, that one interview is worth more than 5 figures. Because every single other person that you now speak to, they're going to watch that same interview. Just like how most of you on this call here today, most of you have probably already seen my interviews with Josue, my interviews with Pauline, my interviews with Stacy. Most of you have already seen these interviews. So, because you've seen these interviews, how do you think of me when you come into this call here today? Think about the authority that I hold when you come into this call here today. Think about the leverage that I have when you come into this call here today. You know you can trust me. You know I've worked with other people who have the exact same problems as you. You know that the problems they've had, I've helped them solve it. So you're looking at that thinking, wait, hold on a second. This Saeed guy, he's worked with other people in the same space as me, who have the same problems as me. He solved their problems. Why the hell can't he solve my problems? Why the hell would I not be on his free training on exactly how to get 10 AI clients? Why wouldn't I be here? So you're a very smart person for being here. Now, you'd also build the confidence. For most of you that have never worked with a client before, that pressure that you put on yourself, I understand it. Most people that I speak to, they put that pressure on themselves, and it's like, look, the only reason why I'm spinning in circles for all this time, spending weeks, spending months, trying to build something that I need to know is going to work. I want to feel 100%. I want to feel like, if I'm going to work with someone, I just really, really want to make sure it works for them. I just really, really want to make sure I can get someone results. So why don't you take that pressure off yourself, right? Take that pressure off yourself. Work with someone for completely free for just 7 days. Build your confidence. If you can get that person one result, not only are you proving to the market that you can get results, you're proving it to yourself. You're building confidence within yourself. Look at what I'm walking you guys through here today. Look at the conviction that I have within my own process. Why do I have this conviction? I have this conviction because I've proven that this process works, not just for me, but for 30 other people just this year alone. I've proven that my process works. I have full confidence in my process. I'm fully bought into my process. Some of you guys, you might jump on calls like, yeah, well, our agents, is gonna call you back. And you need to have conviction. You need to have confidence in what you're doing. And that doesn't come by just, looking in the mirror and practicing your sales script 100 times. It comes by actually going out into the marketplace and getting real clients, real results. Now, why do you want to even start with a free trial client? Why would I work for free, right? Some of you think short term, and it says a lot about where you currently are. It says a lot about why you're in the position that you're in. I've already broken down someone who's trying to charge 3K upfront immediately, who's never worked with a client before, who has no case studies, who has no leverage, no social proof, nothing. They're just going straight out of the gate trying to charge someone 3K upfront immediately. Let's look at the average route that this person takes. Now, how long do you think it would take for this person to even get one yes? Think of it logically. A business owner, most of you run agencies. Think of like if I just approached you randomly, you had no idea who I was, you didn't like me, you didn't trust me, you didn't see my content, you were not a part of my school community, and I just said to you, hey guys, I'm just running a free event. You want to show up and pay me 3K for this event? I think, who the hell is this guy? What? Of course not. You'd probably block me and report me. Think about the person, right, who's charging 3K upfront, who has no leverage, no nothing. They've never worked with a client before. They've never done any of that before. And they just go straight out of the gate. Yeah, I'm just going to start charging people 3K upfront. Number one, how many calls do you think they have to go through before they get that first yes? Maybe 20 to 30 calls. I can guarantee you it's not going to be easy for them. They don't even know what they're doing yet. Bear in mind, they've never delivered the service to someone yet. When these business owners jump on the call with you, you think these business owners are new to this? You're not the only person that's trying to pitch them. I covered this yesterday. Most business owners, they get calls, emails, texts, people following them home. There's always someone trying to take their money from them. Always. So when they jump on that call with you, you think they don't know that you have no clue what you're talking about? They know. Instantly, they know that you have no clue what you're talking about, that you've never done this before, that they don't genuinely buy into your process. And you're putting massive pressure on yourself. Imagine if someone pays you 3K, right, up front. You would not be able to sleep at night knowing that you have to go and deliver this service to this person. How would you be able to live with yourself, right? If someone's paid you 3K, you're going to put extreme amounts of pressure on yourself to try and get them a result. And that's dangerous because you're not actually experiencing the full journey of running an agency properly. You're not experiencing what it's like to actually deal with client expectations. You're not experiencing what it's like to communicate with clients properly. Your mindset has now shifted to be one dimensional. Now you're just focusing on the service delivery. Now you are essentially, again, becoming a glorified freelancer where you're running around like a headless chicken. Okay, I need to make use of this 3K. And you have no idea what's actually happening. The client's breathing down your neck. If someone pays you 3K, they want to see that you can live up to that 3K that they've paid you. And if you mess up, what happens? You become pessimistic. If that person files for a chargeback, if that person asks for a refund, if you cannot deliver to that person, your reputation is damaged. And in business, let me make one thing very, very clear to you guys. In business, your reputation matters more than everything. Nothing is more valuable than your reputation. Nothing. It can take 5 years, 10 years, 20 years to build a reputation in business, and it can take 5 minutes to destroy it. Your reputation is your most valuable asset in business. Really and truly, what I'm trying to get to is going down this route of trying to charge up front 3K immediately. Really and truly, it could take you months before you get that first yes. Could take you months. Whereas let's look at scenario number 2, the free trial, right? It's so easy to close. Even a terrible salesperson closes a free trial in week number 1. Most people that I work with, they close their first client within the first 5 calls that they take. It's so easy because there's no friction. When you're jumping on that call, you don't feel the sales friction. You don't have pressure on yourself. It's easy to get that first yes out of someone because they have nothing to lose. Most of you have probably seen my interview that I done with my client Pauline. She's literally a military veteran who comes from zero business experience, zero sales experience. She's never even done a sales call ever in her life. Never. Within her first day of working with me, she closed someone on a free trial. Within her third day of working with me, she closed someone 3K up front, 997 a month. Going down the route of the free trial, you can test different approaches without risk. You can test different angles for this client. We've got that strategy, we've got that foundation. We know what we're doing for this person. We've got a clear picture, right, for what we want to do for this person. But actually executing it in the marketplace is completely different. It's one thing to have a document, right? It's one thing to say, okay, this is exactly what I'm going to do for someone. It's another thing to go into the marketplace and execute. You get real experience with clients, real experience with what it's like to deal with these clients, understand their expectations, understand what it takes to actually get someone results, and ultimately you build your leverage and your case studies. Now, let's think of it like this, right? If you get your first client in days, they don't pay you anything. Within 7 days, how much further ahead do you think of you are of this person who's still chasing their tail trying to close that first client? Already you're light years ahead of this person just by signing that first client on a free trial. Just by signing one person on a free trial, you get yourself so much further ahead than everyone else who's just chasing their tail trying to close their first client up front, having zero leverage, zero understanding of what they're doing. Then for clients 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, for these clients, you have a case study already. That first client, right? Your lab rat, you've already tested that what you do works. So now you're going to take exactly what you know is working and you're going to essentially productize it and scale it. You're going to copy and paste it for clients number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have leverage, right? All these people that you now speak to, they would have seen your interview before they speak to you. You have a proof of concept. You know what you need to do to get results. You have confidence within yourself. You have confidence within your own service delivery. And now you can command high ticket prices. Now, when you jump onto those calls, you can actually show people, you can have the confidence, and you can command these high ticket prices because you've got the leverage, you've got the proof of concept, you know what you do works, right? Now you are in a position where every other client after client number one, you can charge high ticket for. I say this to every single person I work with. Client number one, you are going to gain more from client number one by doing a free trial than you can ever gain monetary wise. Client number one pays you more through the experience they're giving you, through the leverage they're giving you, through the skills they're giving you. Client number one pays you more in that sense than they could ever pay you in terms of money. You are gaining so much more on that side of things with your skills, developing yourself, actually understanding what to do to get someone results, getting your leverage, getting your case studies. That is worth so much more than any kind of money that client could have paid you. That is what helps you build for the long term. That is what is important for clients number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That is what propels you to be able to actually go and build an agency that isn't just focused on, okay, let's get as many clients as we can, quick cash grab, quickly charge people here, charge people there, and then you're processing refunds left, right, and center. I don't want you guys to build that kind of agency. That's not an agency. That's just a glorified sales. You're just running a glorified sales rep job. You want to build something that actually helps businesses, that actually gets people results. And the only way you can know for sure that you can get someone a result is by working with that first person without any risk to them. Now, let me come back into the chat and answer any questions that we might have. Look at what I was saying on this call here today, guys. I want to make sure you come out of that way of thinking. That way of thinking has kept you exactly where you are. That way of thinking of, I need to have it all figured out. Before I ever go and work with a client, I need to have it all figured out. That way of thinking has kept you with zero clients. That way of thinking is exactly why you are in the position you're in right now. You need to come out of that way of thinking and expose yourself, like I said, to actually being able to fail. It doesn't matter if client number one doesn't work out. We don't have pressure on ourselves. If client number one doesn't work out, number one, we don't owe them anything because it's a free trial. Number two, right, we can pick ourselves up and go again. We know that, okay, maybe what we've done for this client hasn't worked. We're going to try something completely different for the next person that we try on a 7-day trial. The main problem in and of itself, right, is you do not have enough opportunities. You're not closing clients, not because your offer sucks, not because of your voice AI system, not because of your ads, not because of what you do. You're not closing clients because you're not speaking to anyone. Like I said at the start of the call, if you're only speaking to 5 people a month, then you only have 5 opportunities every single month to close someone. Whereas me, If I speak to 100 people a month, on a bad month, I have 100 opportunities to close people compared to your five. I have nearly 100 times the opportunities that you have. And even if you're the best salesperson on the planet, I will still outcompete you simply because I have more opportunities than you. Now, you don't have enough people to talk to. Why? Because you're not reaching out to enough people. Some of the stuff that I hear, guys, is insane. Some of the things people tell me, oh, I'm doing 25 LinkedIn connections a day. I'm doing 10 Facebook friend requests a day. I'm doing 50 emails per day. Seriously? That's it? 25 connection requests on LinkedIn? 50 emails a day? 10, 20 cold calls a day? That's it? That's all you can put towards getting clients? And I'm going to be very, very harsh on this point. You spend so much time. You spend so much time trying to build a system. So much time trying to learn voice AI, learn reputation management, learn go high level. You spend so much time on that aspect of things that you completely forget why you're even in this space in the first place. You are not in this space to just become a jack of all trades and a master of none. You are in this space to sign clients. You are in this space to build an agency. You are in this space to make money, to build an agency that's profitable, to build an agency that's scalable. How on earth are you going to do that when you're talking to a brick wall every single day? When you're not speaking to anybody? When you have no one in your calendar who's interested in what you do? You can't sign clients if you have no one to speak to. Now, if you're doing any less than 300 outreaches a day, honestly, you're not serious. I know it sounds harsh, but it's genuinely true. If you're doing anything less than 300 a day, then you're not serious about this business. You're not. Because I've got clients right now who are doing 25,000 messages every single day. I've got clients right now who are doing 25,000, reaching out to 25,000 people every single day. And there's people on this call who are reaching out to 25 people, if that. Some of you aren't reaching out to anyone every single day. If you're not reaching out to anyone, if you're not reaching out to people, if you're not putting yourself out there, let me get one thing very straight. Your voice AI system itself is not what attracts people to you. You're at a phase right now where you need to aggressively go and approach people and draw them in and shamelessly, really, promote yourself. Because if you don't do that, then you're not going to get business. You are not going to get people who are interested in what you do. I didn't sign 50 clients, guys, by just crossing my fingers and meditating and hoping that clients just fall into my calendar. No, I got clients because I was proactive. I got clients because I showed up every single day. I reached out to at least 300 people every single day, and that gave me the highest chance of actually closing as many clients as possible. Compare someone who's doing 30 outreaches to someone who's doing 300. If you do 30 outreaches and you do that every single month, and I'm doing 300, I'm reaching out to 10 times more people than you, which means I have 10 times more opportunities of having more conversations than you, which means I have 10 times more chances of closing 10 times more clients than you do. It's really that simple. Now, it's easy for me to sit here today, right, and tell you guys, oh, you need to do 300 outreaches every single day. You guys are probably thinking 300 out to who? To where? Where do I find 300 people a day? Now, what I'm going to show you is a free strategy, right, that most people are not using properly. A free strategy which doesn't require a single dollar. You don't need to spend any money on ads. You don't need to run any cold emails. You don't need to text anyone. You don't need to call anyone. You don't need to do any of that. This is a strategy that is completely free. And in fact, this is a strategy that has the highest, in my opinion, success rate. Instead of cold outreach, right, to random businesses, we are going to actually use the job application strategy. The job application strategy, right, is we are going to go into job boards like LinkedIn. Now, when we are on platforms like LinkedIn, what I like to do is I like to scroll to the bottom and literally go to the 10th page, because usually the smaller businesses are on the 10th page. Now we can see what I've searched up: dentist receptionist jobs posted in the last month, right? We can see we've got this one dentist profile right here, patient services coordinator. Okay, it's just a fancy way of saying that they want a receptionist. Okay, cool. Now we can see this job summary over here. Okay. Now, what we are going to do, guys, is what? We are going to go and directly apply to this job. Now, we're not just going to apply to this job and cross our fingers and hope for the best. No, there's a few steps that we are going to take. The first thing I want you to do is obviously to apply to the job. And when you apply to the job, what I want you to do is copy out the job summary. Copy out all of this stuff. Now, why yesterday is going to be very important. The documents that you guys made yesterday, the document structure that I made you guys follow yesterday is going to be very important for today. Because that document is what you are going to directly feed into GPT to say, hey, this is the job description, right? This is a job post I found on LinkedIn. Personalize my application and what I do for this specific job post. And obviously, before that, you're going to be feeding GPT with those two documents that we worked on yesterday. Those two documents which contain who you work with, what you do for these people, what your offer is, how you're going to do it for them. You want to give GPT as much knowledge on who you work with, what your offer is, how you do it. Feed that into GPT. So now GPT understands what you're going to do. You're going to copy out, right, that job description from LinkedIn, and you're going to feed it into GPT. And you're going to say, hey, this is a job post that I found on LinkedIn. Personalize my application and what I do for this specific job post. Now, GPT is obviously going to come out with a response, right? I notice you're currently hiring for a front office coordinator. A lot of the practices we work with were in the same exact position, constantly trying to fill front desk roles, only to deal with turnover, training, and missed calls during busy hours. We've built an AI voice receptionist that actually replaces 80% of that workload. Now, I want to take it a step further. I said, do not forget about my offer. We want to make it personalized, but we also want to make sure it pitches our entire offer. We'll help bring 5 new teeth whitening jobs in the next 90 days. So, hey, I came across your post about hiring for a front office coordinator. Totally get it, blah, blah, blah. Instead of hiring another team member at $12 an hour, this is exactly what we are going to help you do. We're going to put in place our voice AI agent that's going to work at a fraction of the cost. Oh, and on top of that, we'll also help you actively generate 5 new opportunities that would not have been there without us. Now, again, building on yesterday, we're not just pitching a missed call solution. We are also showing them that we are going to generate them new opportunities. Now, this is what you are going to use to apply to the job, right? You're going to use GPT to apply for that job. After you've applied for the job, this is what I want you guys to actually do. This is a hack, and I want you guys to pay attention to this because it's super, super important. We can see the name of the company right here, right? Oak Dental Partners. Now, what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to go and search Oak Dental Partners, Brandon, Florida. We can obviously see they're in Brandon, Florida. Now, I've got the website of this business right here, right? oakfielddentalfl.com. I go onto their website and I can see, okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy out the domain. So oakfielddentalfl.com. I'm going to copy out that domain. I'm going to open a completely new tab. And I'm going to search up oakfielddentalfl.com owner. Now, we can see the owner of oakfielddentalfl.com is Dr. Ed Kakin, right? Dr. Kakin. Now, I want you guys to go back into LinkedIn and you're going to search up Edis Kakin. And we can see this guy right here is the actual owner of Oakfield Dental, Florida. What you are actually going to do is you're going to click onto his profile and I want you to connect with him. And when you connect, you can add a note. And inside of that note, what are you going to do? Now I'm going to go back to GPT and say, okay, now I'm going to reach out directly to the owner of the business via LinkedIn. Help me create a personalized message to the owner with my offer using my same style and tone. And this response that you get from GPT is the exact response that you are going to use to apply and send a message directly to this owner of the business. Now, a lot of people, they just do this one dimensionally. They just apply to the job, they cross their fingers and hope for the best. You are going to apply to the job, you are going to find the owner of the actual business, and you are also going to message directly the owner of the business. You want to get through directly to the decision maker, because obviously sometimes on job posts you're not going through directly to the person who is responsible of making decisions like bringing on another company like an agency. You want to go through directly to the owner, and you can do this, guys, at scale. Build multiple LinkedIn accounts. Do this manually. You're probably thinking, Saeed, seriously, right now doing this manually for 300 people? It really goes back to what I was saying. How serious are you about this? If you're doing 25 messages a day, genuinely, I'm not even joking with you, just don't even bother. Because you're not going to get any responses. You can do it for months, you can do it for years. I can tell you right now, doing 25 messages a day, doing anything less than 300 a day, you are wasting your time. You're wasting your time. Now, because we're doing a free trial offer, we also want to make it very clear. I'm actually running a free trial offer, which is completely risk free for the business. Make sure this is included to the message sent to the owner and application. Simple stuff, guys. You're doing this for 300 applications at a bare minimum every single day. LinkedIn is one traffic source, right? There's multiple other traffic sources you can use. LinkedIn is one, Indeed is another, Upwork is another, Fiverr is another. The whole goal here is for you to be doing at least 300 outreaches every single day. Now, don't just apply like everyone else. Follow, right, the step-by-step structure that I've showed you here today. We've got it inside of the document. Inside of the document, I've covered everything that I've just showed you guys. Now, what I showed you guys here today, how much time do you think it would take for you to go ahead and manually apply to 300 jobs every day? How much time do you think it would take? An hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, maybe every single day for you to go and apply to 300 jobs a day? Well, what if I told you that right now I'm doing this? My clients are doing this. We're sending 3, 4, 5, 6, 700 job applications every single day, and we don't even have to lift a finger. Every single application is being sent completely in automation. We're sending an application, and we're also directly messaging the owner of the business, all in automation without lifting a finger. We're doing all of that in automation without spending a single minute on applying to the jobs ourselves. Now, let me come back to the chat. How many of you guys would find that valuable? How many of you guys would think that that is something that would help you? Drop me some thumbs up in the chat. Yvonne says absolutely. Jamie says damn straight. Andy says yes. Chanel says absolutely. Yes. Lauren says yes. Now, this automation, right? In order to apply to 3, 4, 5, 600 jobs every single day in automation, I'm actually giving it all away. Now, in order to get access to the automation that applies to 5, 6, 700 jobs every single day in automation without lifting a single finger, click on this link here inside of the document. Join my paid community, or if you're an affiliate of mine inside of Go High Level, you can access this automation as a bonus on top of everything else that you get access to. You get access to this automation, which applies to 5, 6, 700 jobs a day. You get access to every single one of my snapshots, and you get access to one-on group coaching with me where you can spend 5-10 minutes asking me any questions that you have. Every single week, you get 2 to 3 sessions with me. Now, a cohort is actually going to begin from next week. A cohort is going to begin from next week, actually going in depth behind the systems that we covered on this 6-day program. In this 6-day program, obviously, there's only so much that I can cover. This is a 6-week program, guys, that people pay me 5K for. In 6 days, there's only so much that I can go into. Now, those of you that do become an affiliate of mine, those of you that do sign up to High Level under my link, those of you that do sign up directly to my paid community, there is going to be a cohort beginning from next week where we are going to be going deeper into what we covered over these 6 days. And I'm going to be showing you the system that automatically applies to 5, 6, 700 jobs a day, how to set it up, how to run it in automation, how to get people into your calendar, how to sign people up on these free trials. Now, why does this work better than cold outreach? The people we're reaching out to via cold outreach, they don't know you. They're not actually looking for help. You're interrupting them and it's just a low response rate. This job application strategy, people actually pay. In order to advertise jobs on LinkedIn, in order to advertise jobs on Indeed, these businesses are paying to advertise that they need help. These businesses are paying to say, hey, I need to hire someone. You're literally approaching a business that's paying money to say, hey, I need help with a receptionist. They have so much more of an intent than someone who you don't even know what they want or need. It's just kind of crossing your fingers, hoping for the best. Now, day 2's action plan. What I want you guys to do here today is go through the steps that we've covered. I want you to go through this document, implement the action plan, right? And go through this entire document. Now, some of the questions yesterday was, Saeed, we haven't got anything built yet. How do we sell someone? How do we actually get someone on the free trial in 7 days or in 14 days? And how do we get them a result? How do we get them 5 jobs in the next 7 days? How do we get them 5 jobs in the next 14 days? How do we book them these appointments? Well, ultimately, right, in day one, you've already built your strategy. You've already built your foundation. You are already very, very clear on exactly who you are working with, what you are offering them, and how you deliver. How you deliver. You already know how to deliver. You've got the basic concept in your brain. The only thing you have not done yet is execute it for an actual client. Now, because you have not executed it for an actual client yet, you of course aren't going to know every single thing step by step. The whole goal, right, in day three, the whole goal is to make sure that when you jump onto the call with these people, you have a process to help them visualize what you are actually going to help them with. You have a process to help them visualize and understand, okay, when I work with Saeed, in that 7 day trial that I'm going to be working with Saeed on, I know this is what's happening in day one. I know that's what's happening in day two. I know that's what's happening in day three. Now, yesterday, I showed you guys how to find these people, how to start reaching out to people, how to start getting people interested in your offer and getting them towards the point of booking a call with you. Now, in day three, today, you are going to get people responding to you. If you're doing the bare minimum target that I set yesterday, which is 300 people a day. If you're doing the bare minimum target that I set yesterday, on average, you're going to get 10, 15 responses, 10, 15 people who actually want to speak with you every single week. But again, you haven't got anything built yet. Now, we are working in reverse. We're getting the client first and then we're building. Now, how do we get someone to say yes when we have nothing built yet? And that's what today is all about. Here's what most people don't understand. Even for a free trial, you still need to convince someone to say yes to working with you. Just because it's a free trial doesn't mean you could just jump onto the call however you want. Oh, I'll work with you for free and expect that person to say yes. Even though it is a free trial, you essentially are still selling that person something. You're selling them. They have to commit their time towards you. They have to commit their energy towards you. And really and truly, no one really wants to go through a free trial that doesn't amount to anything. They would rather not start the free trial at all, right? If they have the idea that it's going to amount to nothing. So even though it is a free trial, it doesn't mean you can just jump on that call and do whatever you like and say whatever you like and just cross your fingers and take them through any kind of process, hoping that it works out for the best. You can't expect to jump on that call and say, hey, want to try this for free? And think that they're just going to buy. Because like I said, most of these businesses, they've been burned before. They're skeptical. They're coming onto that call with you expecting to be sold. They're coming onto that call with you thinking that this really a free trial. Kind of sounds a little bit too good to be true. They need to believe in your process first. Even though it's a free trial, they need to believe that in this free trial, I am going to get something of benefit to me. I'm going to get something that actually helps me make more money. Your job on the call is not to sell them AI. Your job on the call is not to sell them Facebook ads. Your job on the call is not to sell them that vehicle. Your job is to help them visualize the journey of working with you. Now, they need to be able to see, right, what happens on day one when they work with you, what happens on day two, what happens on day three, what happens by day seven. If you are running a 7 day trial, you need to actually show them the step-by-step process, what's happening every single day, what until the point where we reach the end of the trial. What is happening every single day? How are you going to get me this result? Show me, right, that I can buy into your process. Show me that you can actually help me get a result. If they can visualize the process, then they believe in it. If they can visualize, okay, I understand exactly what's happening in day one, in day two, in day three, then they have a higher chance of actually saying yes to you. If they believe in it, if they buy into it, if they see how it can actually benefit them, they say yes. Now, look at what I'm walking you guys through right now. Am I taking you through some fancy PowerPoint presentation? Am I showing you guys a 50-slide pitch deck? No, it's literally a Google Doc. A plain Google Doc. A simple Google Doc. And that's all you need. Right now, I take sales calls for my 5K offer using the exact same thing. Literally a Google Doc. I don't need anything else. I just need a Google Doc. Because all I am doing, right, the whole point of the sales call is you need to understand what is this person's bigger picture. For example, if we're working with a HVAC company, their bigger picture, right, the only reason they are on the call with me is they want 5 book jobs. That's my offer. I'm going to bring you 5 book jobs in the next 7 days on a risk-free trial. That's what my offer is, right? Every single thing that I take them through on the sales call itself should always refer back to that bigger picture. That bigger picture, right? Every single thing I take them through on that sales call is to refer back to that bigger picture. They do not give a damn about your PowerPoint presentation. They don't care about your Google document. They care, right, about that bigger picture. And your job is to convince them that you can actually help them achieve it. On the sales call itself, all I am doing is I'm taking them through the step by step process. This is exactly how I'm going to help you get that bigger picture. This is exactly how I'm going to help you get 5 jobs in the next 7 days on a risk free trial. My goal on the call is to use this document as a vehicle. Use it as a vehicle to show that this is exactly how I'm going to help you get that bigger picture. You guys need to understand that they do not care about AI itself. They do not care about Facebook ads itself. They do not care about the thing, right, that you are doing. They care about what you are delivering to them. And what you do, right, what you do is just merely a vehicle that you are using to deliver them that bigger picture. Now, the value, right, is helping them visualize what they get when they work with you. Just like how I'm taking you guys through this document right now. Just like how I've taken you guys through the previous 2 documents in the last 2 days. All I'm doing, guys, is trying to help you visualize. This is the process that we need to put in place. You guys can understand literally from a simple Google document what needs to be done, what you get access to, what we are showing you in this 6-day challenge. Now, what makes a good game plan document, right? How, when you jump on the call with someone, you want a document that shows them what happens on day 1, what happens on day 2, what happens on day 3, what happens in day 4, 5, 6, and 7. And by the end of this document, once you've gone through all the points, they should think, okay, I know exactly what's happening every single day. I feel confident in this. I understand this. I believe in this. And I buy into this. They're invested in your own game plan. They're invested in your own process. And that's what you want. Ultimately, they don't they don't really care about how you build the ads itself. They don't really care about how you make the calls itself, or how you build the AI agent, or how you're prompting it, or how you're training it. They don't care about that. What they do care about is the process that you're taking it through. What is your customer journey that you're building out for them? And that's what you're showing them on this game plan. You're showing them the journey that you're taking them through on that 7-day trial. On day 1, you start off here, right? On day 1, this is where we start off. But by day 7, we're taking them through a journey to get where? That journey leads to that bigger picture. That journey is taking them to the 5 book jobs in the next 7 days. Now, let's actually show you guys an example, right? I want to show you guys an example of how to actually build this document, how to come up with a document like this, and how to specifically, right, get people on the call with you and actually convince them that this is the right fit for them. Now, going back to day 1. On day 1, I showed you guys a few different examples, right, of the service that you can be delivering someone. We're going to use that same example here today. So we're going to be using the same example of scraping people who have like a 5-year-old AC system. I'm going to be able to scrape all of the permits that have 5+ year-old permits on them. Now, I'm going to scrape 1,000 of them every single day, and I'm going to call them with the offer, hey, we saw that you've got a 5-year-old AC system. What if we came over there and gave you a free thermostat upgrade? Cool. That's the offer, or that's the example that we are going to be using. We know who we're working with, right? And we know what we are doing for them, and we know how we are doing it for them. We know what the offer is. The offer, right, is we are going to bring them 5 jobs in the next 7 days. Now, when you go and actually build the document, when you go and build the sales call document that you take them through, how do you build it? You are going to go back and refer to day 1. You're going to take your document from day 1, right? You're going to take your document from day 1, the entire strategy, the entire foundation that you've built on day 1, and you're going to feed it to ChatGPT. And now when you feed it to ChatGPT, you are going to plug the document in and you are going to say, hey, this is how I plan on getting a HVAC company results in the next 7 days on a risk-free trial. You paste out, right, your entire document. So you attach your document, which includes who you're working with, how you're working with them, what you are doing for them. You paste out that document and now you ask GPT to create, right, the game plan for you. Now, GPT is just going to come out with the game plan. This is exactly what happens on day one. It's exactly what happens on day two. Exactly what happens on day 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And when I get on the call with these people, right, Mr. HVAC, we're going to call 1,000 people a day who have 5-year-old permits. All I need is one person out of 1,000 people a day that I'm calling to say yes. Is that not possible? One person out of 1,000? Of course it's possible. Now, that's being super pessimistic. And being super pessimistic, that's 7 appointments per week. That's 28 appointments per month. Even if you're a terrible salesman and you only close 5 of those out of those 28 appointments that we booked you, that's still $25,000 in potential revenue. If one AC system is worth $5,000 to you and you only close 5 out of the 28 people that we bring you, that's $25,000 worth of opportunity that we've bought you. You're paying me $3K and $997 a month, and you walk away with $20K plus profit. Does that not sound fair? Oh, and by the way, for the first 7 days when we're working together, you don't actually pay me a dime. We're going to set all of this up for you for completely free, risk free. You don't pay me a single dime. We're going to set all of this up for completely free. And all I want from you is a testimonial and a case study where I can sit down and interview you for 20 minutes or so, ask you some questions, and you are going to act as my leverage. You are going to be a case study for me for every other client that comes after you. You have your deliverables, right? You're actually helping them buy into what's happening over the next 7 days. The whole goal, right, is for them to understand what is actually happening over the next 7 days, and they need to buy into it. They need to invest into it. You want people to jump on the call with you. You want people to say yes to you, right? But the only way someone can say yes to you is if they genuinely believe that you can actually help them get that bigger picture. If you jump on that call with no clear game plan, right, with no process, with no timeline or deliverables of what to expect and how you are going to do it, they find it very difficult to believe you. They find it very difficult to invest into your process and buy into what you are doing. Whereas when you make it very, very clear for them, look, Mr. Prospect, on day one, we're going to onboard you, right? On day one, we're going to start scraping all the permit data in your city, right? We're going to be targeting 20-plus-year-old systems. We're going to skip trace these homeowner phone numbers, and we're going to set up the bot, right, to however you want the voice to be, the accent, the script, the calendar integration. Day one, we are essentially onboarding you, making sure that we have all the right things in place so that by day two, we can actually start launching 1,000 calls. On day two, we're going to actually start calling these people, right? We're going to be monitoring, okay, from those 1,000 phone calls that we made, how many people answered, how many people did not answer, how many people showed interest, how many people were not interested, how many people booked, how many people did not book. Now, the goal, right, is to get one person out of 1,000 to say yes within 24 hours. And by day 3, what we are going to do is we're already going to have your first appointment booked. Day 3, you're already going to have your first appointment booked with us. Now we want to optimize. Now we want to become even better. How do we now get 2-3 people out of 1,000 to say yes? How do we get 2-3 people in the GPT? Just quickly recapping, right? What we are going to do is we are going to take that document that we built together on day one. We're going to take that entire document that we built together in day one, which includes your strategy, which includes your who you're working with, your offer, and how you are doing it. And then you're going to plug all of that information through to ChatGPT. You're going to say, hey, this is who I'm working with. This is how I'm doing it for them. This is what we are doing for them. Go and actually create me a document which shows the step-by-step process that we are going to take them through over the next 7 days. Now, GPT is going to come back and create you a document, right, for your specific niche, for who you are working with, for your offer, and for how you are going to do it for them. Now, for me specifically, I chose a HVAC business owner. I chose a HVAC business owner, right, as an example for my 7-day document. Now, in day one, we are going to be scraping 20-year-old systems, right? Skip tracing that homeowner data. and customizing our system, the scripts, the voice, the accent, and onboarding them pretty much within the first day. Now, that means by day two, we are going to start launching 1,000 calls. On day two, we actually start calling people. And the goal is within that first 1,000 people that we call, we want at least one person to book within the next 24 hours. On day three, we're going to improve this. How do we now take 1,000 calls and get double the amount of bookings? How do we get three, four, five people booking from 1,000 calls? How do we improve our scripts? How do we improve our tone? How do we improve based on the call recordings, based on the call transcripts, based on the feedback that we get from the system? And by day 4, 5, 6, 7, all we are doing is just trying to improve the results and scale up. By the time you get to day 7, right? Even if you've got them one booked job, here's the thing that so many people get wrong. The offer, right? Hey, we're going to bring you 5 book jobs in the next 7 days. The offer is essentially you dangling the carrot in front of them. If you get onto actually working with someone, and let's say you only get them one book job, you don't get them 5. Your offer is 5 book jobs in the next 7 days, but you only get them one booked job. Do you think at the end of the 7 days, right, you've got them a book job for completely free? They haven't had to pay you a dime. That's $5,000 opportunity right there in their calendar. Do you think they give a damn? Oh, you didn't get me 5 jobs like you promised. The offer, right? The offer almost, if you are able to even get a client one result during the free trial period, I promise you, not a single client is going to care that you weren't able to get them 5 or 6 or 7. I promise you, every single client, if you even get them one result, is going to be enough for them to want to continue with you after the free trial. And really and truly, all we need is one result. All we need is one book job to prove that our system works, to prove that we know what we're doing, to have confidence in our service delivery, and to turn that person into a leveraged case study, which we can use for every other client after client number 1. The whole point of this document is for you to jump on the call with these people, take them through the step-by-step process, take them through the journey, help them invest into it, help them buy into it, help them visualize what is happening in day 1, what is happening in day 2, what is happening in day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, and day 7. Your whole goal, right, is to help them buy into the process, understand the process, and actually feel like, yeah, I think that by 7 days, you can help me get a result that I'm looking for. Cool. So that's for one of the use cases. Again, we've got another use case here inside of the document. That's for day 1. And we've got the step-by-step strategy on how to create your own document like I have just done for myself. Now, why does this work? Why does this work? Because people are actually seeing what's happening. They understand the process. They can visualize the process. You're removing the uncertainty. When someone jumps on a call with you, right? Because you've broken down what's actually happening when they work with you, they know what happens once they say yes. There's no uncertainty. They're not chasing you down on day 2 to understand why you haven't made any calls yet. They know what's happening. You've made it very clear to them how the process works. When they say yes, right, you just follow the game plan. That game plan is not just for them, it's also for you. It's also for you to understand what you need to do in order to get them that result within that 7-day time frame. You're building the belief within them. When you show them something like, hey, I'm going to call 1,000 people a day and I just need one of them to say yes every single day, do you not think that's possible? Of course it's possible. Of course it's achievable. They believe that it's achievable, right? And because they believe it's achievable, they can visualize, wait, I'm going to get 7 jobs in 7 days. That's 28 in 30 days at a bare minimum. Now, you're keeping focus on the outcome. They don't care about AI. They don't care about ads. They don't care about what it is you're doing. They care about how you're going to deliver them that bigger picture. What we've walked through here today, this entire document that you guys are going to be creating, the only purpose of this, the purpose of this document is only to help them see how they are going to get towards that bigger picture. When I go onto the call with someone, I'm always referring back to that bigger picture. Don't you think that we can get one person out of 1,000 every day? Well, that's 7 people a week. And I said I'm going to get you 5 people in 7 days. If I got you 7, would you be disappointed in that? Of course not. I'm always referring back to the bigger picture because that's what they care about. That's what they're buying. They're giving me $1 and they expect me to turn it into two. They are buying the result from me. They are not buying the AI agent. They are not buying the ads. They are buying the result, the bigger picture, the destination that they want to get to. Now, I've also included what to actually say on the sales call for you guys. So there's a step-by-step process that you can follow. There's some common objections, right, that people usually come up with. How do I know this works? I need to think about it. I've tried other agencies before and it didn't work. All those common objections that usually come up, you have a way to handle them. Now, always refer back to the bigger picture. Like I was saying, don't get lost in the weeds of how does the AI work, what CRM do you use, what's the tech stack, or our system's so cool because it's got a follow-up and we're following up with people and this. They don't care. They just need to understand the basic concepts of how does this journey look like if I work with you over the next 7 days. Now, your day 3 action steps. For day 3, right, what you are going to do is create your own action plan, create your own document for the sales calls. What you are going to do is you are going to follow the same exact process that I used here today. You're going to take your day 1 document, you're going to feed it to ChatGPT. You're going to use ChatGPT to come up with a game plan, a 7-day game plan, a 14-day game plan, depending on how long your trial period is. You're going to use ChatGPT to come up with this game plan. And what you are going to do is you are going to post about it inside of the 6-day challenge. You're going to take your game plan and post about it inside of the 6-day challenge. Now, today was a little bit of a shorter call than the last 2 days that we've done. Today is more so focused on making sure that when you get those calls, when you get people booking into your calendar, you are able to actually convert them. Now, I want you guys to make sure that you are taking action on every single thing that we have showed you over the last 3 days, because tomorrow we are going to cover exactly what happens when someone says yes. When someone says yes and they actually commit to your trial, they actually become your client. Now, what do you do? Now you need to actually execute and be able to actually get them results. And how do you do that? For today, what we covered is getting that person to say yes, moving that person towards the point of actually investing in you, investing in your game plan, believing in you, and buying into your process. Hey, everyone. Welcome to day 4. We've got 8 people in the room already. What's up, guys? Hello. Hope you guys are ready for day 4. Now it starts to spicing up a little bit. We're going to go into the actual onboarding side of things today, the actual fulfillment side of things today. What happens when someone says yes? What happens when someone jumps onto that call with you and actually wants to take the next step? What do you go from there? Where do you go from there? What do you do from there? And how do you get them a result? We're going to be going into all of that today. I hope you guys are ready. Yesterday, we covered exactly how to build a sales framework, how to build a game plan that converts people, right, from just being interested in what you do to actually being committed, to actually investing in your game plan, to actually believing in your game plan and actually wanting to take action on it, wanting to get started. Today, what we are going to cover is what happens when they say yes. What happens when you actually sign that first client? What's the first thing you do? What's the second thing you do? What's the third thing you do? It's easy, right, to create a document on day 1 and have a basic idea of who you're working with, what you're offering to them, and how you're going to get a result. It's easy to have the basic concept in your mind, but delivering it is something completely different. For you to actually go and set up a whole AI agent that goes and scrapes permits, that have 5-year-old AC systems, and calling 1,000 of those people every single day, it sounds a lot easier to say than it is to do. For you to go and set up an ad campaign that gets in front of people who are potentially interested in a teeth whitening service and offering them a 50% discount when they come and work with us, and making sure that we can get at least one person booked into the dentist's calendar within the next 7 days. It sounds a lot easier to say than it is to do, especially when you haven't done all of this stuff before. Now, how do you actually deliver the service? You know what you need to do. You have the basic concept of how you're going to get someone a result, right? But this is where most people freeze up. This is where most people get caught up right? And genuinely, I want you to ask yourselves, those of you on the call here today, I want you to ask yourselves, how did I end up in the position I'm in today? How long have I actually been in the space? Most of you are not new to this. Most of you have actually been in the space for a couple of weeks, a couple of months, maybe some of you a couple of years already. You're not new to the AI space. You're not new to the go high level space, but you're in a position today where it's been weeks, it's been months, it's been years maybe, and you still haven't built a scalable, productizable agency. Why? Because you've been caught in the trap of believing, right, that you need to have everything figured out before you get your first client. You need to have everything figured out before you go and actually ever work with anybody. Now, in this call here today, I'm going to show you how to get over that barrier and how to actually work with someone. When you get someone who says yes, you want to ultimately, yes, make sure you can get them results, but also you want to make sure that you get over your own limitations. You get over the bottleneck of yourself. You get over your own limitations holding you back to be able to actually go on and grow personally, in terms of your skills, in terms of your development. You want to grow because that's what business forces you to do. Business is a game, right? Where you are forced to develop, where you are forced to grow, develop your skills, develop personally, mentally. I've had a lot of up and downs. Business is not a one way upward spiral, right? There's a lot of up and downs, and you need to be mentally strong enough to deal with those up and downs. You need to be strong in terms of your skill set to be able to deal with the different seasons in business and be able to adapt to the different seasons in business. And ultimately, you need to be able to have that strength to deal with clients because it's not easy. When someone pays you 3K up front, 997 a month, they have certain expectations of you. And it's not easy to deal with those expectations, especially when you're dealing with 50 other people who have the same exact expectation of you, like I did myself. But it is possible. But in order to get to that bigger picture, in order to get to that point, you need to start with one. You need to go on, take that first step. Now, let me remind you of something very, very critical, which we covered in day 2. Your first client is a lab rat. Your first client is a lab rat. You're not trying to be perfect. No matter what I walk you guys through here today, likeliness is you're still not going to be 100% prepared before you go and actually work with that client. We're going to try and make sure that you are as prepared as you can be, but you're still not going to be 100%. When you go into the market and actually start doing all of these things, there's still things that you have not been exposed to. There's still certain things that you cannot prepare for unless you actually go out and do it. It's like getting a driving license, right? I'm sure everyone has had to go through the theory side of getting a driving license. Make sure you stop at the stop signs. Make sure you give way at this certain junction. Make sure we've all gone through the theory side of driving, but the theory doesn't prepare you for what the actual practical looks like. The theory doesn't tell you how to steer the wheel to the left or to the right, or how to maneuver or how to park. The theory can't actually help do that for you. You need to kind of just go out and do it. You need to take lessons, right? You're not trying to be perfect when you just start driving. You're just trying to learn. You're not trying to have everything figured out, because if you did, then you'd just be looking at a theory book all day thinking, okay, this book is what's going to teach me how to park my car. But it's not. You need to be able to actually go out there and have the courage to try. All you are doing, guys, is you are testing your approach in the real world to see if it resonates, to see if it works. And here's the reality. Ideally, of course, we want that first client to work out. Ideally, of course, we want that first client to turn into a leveraged case study, but truth is, it might not. That first client, it might not work out for them. You might not get results for that first client. You might not get results for the second client. You might not get results for the second trial that you do, but the third one might be the one, and that's okay. Remember, the whole principle, right, that we are applying here, why are we working with people on a free trial, is not only to develop yourself, develop your skills, but ultimately what you are trying to do is test different approaches in the marketplace and understand what actually works, what actually helps get someone results, and what doesn't. You might start off with an approach for your first client where you go and launch an ad campaign for them. At the end of the 7 days, you might turn out to have nothing for that first client. You might not have got a single result for that first client, but that is okay, because now you know, okay, well, the way I was running my ads or the strategy that I had used for this specific client, it doesn't work. Maybe me running ads for this HVAC company wasn't the best fit. Let me try and pivot now. And for my second client, I'm going to implement a different strategy. For my second client, what I'm going to do is I'll go and scrape all the permit data inside of their specific area. I'll find the people who have 5-year-old permits. I'm going to call all these people. I'm going to make them an offer of a free thermostat upgrade. Maybe that strategy is better suited for the type of person that I'm working with rather than an ad campaign. What you are doing here is you are learning, you are getting real life feedback from the marketplace. You may not go in on day one and have everything figured out. You may not go in with client number one and have everything figured out. But that is okay. The whole goal of this call here today is to make sure that you are able to adapt to business. Because right now, guys, we are in the fastest growing space out there. We're in the fastest growing space in the world. There is no other space that is growing at the speed that AI is growing. Every single day, there's like 300 tools that come out every single day. I can't keep up on top of them. You can't keep up on top of them. Every single day, there's massive changes happening to our industry. By tomorrow, there could be a completely revolutionary tool that means that we have to change everything that we're doing. But you have to be prepared to be in a position, right, where you can adapt quickly. First client might not work out. Your first free trial might not work out, but that is okay. Because ultimately, what you are trying to do is make sure that you are prepared, you are adaptable, you are able to change if something does not work. Everyone's journey is different, right? Some people get results on their first trial and turn it into a case study immediately. I've got clients like Pauline who come in, zero business experience whatsoever. She's never even taken a sales call in her life at all. She's never had to sell anything in her life at all. She comes from a military background. She came in within 3 days of working with me. She closed someone for 3K upfront, 997 a month. I've got cases like Pauline, but I've also got cases where people come into my program and we work together for 6 weeks and they don't see any kind of results for the first 5 weeks. Not a single client for the first 5 weeks. But then all of a sudden, on the 6th week, they start signing 3, 4, 5 clients in a single week. When the 5 weeks prior to that, they couldn't even get one. But on the 6th week, they all of a sudden get 3, 4, 5, or 6. Everyone's journey is different. And the way you're looking at things right now, all of you are in this together, right? I mentioned at the start of the call, I love the collaboration. I love the communication between all of you guys who are taking part in the challenge. Because ultimately, we're all trying to get to the same place. All of you guys are trying to get to the same place. 2 minds are better than 1, 3 minds are better than 2. If you guys are all collaborating and helping each other get towards that bigger goal, it means that you're all going to get there quicker than if you were to go down the lone road. Some people need 2, 3 trials before they get one thing that works. Some people need 1 trial before they get one thing that works. It doesn't matter. The goal stays the same. Get that first lab rat client results, then turn them into a case study. It might take you 1 client, it might take you 2 clients, it might take you 3 clients, it might take you 5 or 6 clients. But at the end of the day, even if you go through 5 or 6 free trial clients, at the end of the day, when you finally get someone results, you're going to feel so much more confident within yourself. You're going to feel so much more confident within your service delivery. And you're going to have that leverage and that case study going into client number 7 and 8, knowing that you've gone through 5 or 6 clients. You've got 5 or 6 clients worth more experience than that first person that I gave you an example of. That first person who's chasing their own tail, trying to close everyone for 3K and 997 up front when they've never, ever, ever proven what they do works. They've never even worked with a client before. They don't understand anyone's expectations. At this point, if you've worked with 5 or 6 people, even though you haven't got anyone results, think about how far ahead you've gone compared to that first person who's just chasing their own tail, chasing a quick buck. Do not pressure yourself to be perfect on day one. It's okay. You're good. It might not work out with that first client. It might not work out with that second client. But ultimately, guys, the goal remains the same. If you stay consistent, if you stay persistent, you will get a client that will get results. And if you're consistently changing different things, if you're taking feedback, if you're learning, if you're being open to this and understanding, okay, the first thing I do might not work. You have to be open to take that feedback and say, okay, this is my fault. I didn't do it properly. Maybe I didn't do the right thing. Maybe I didn't understand how to do it properly. How can I change this to make sure that for client number 2, I can get them results, that I can actually help them? You need to be able to be open to feedback from the marketplace. Some people I see, it doesn't work out for their first client, it doesn't work out for their second client, and it's just like, oh yeah, this agency thing is dead. Nothing in this agency space works. Oh, Facebook ads are rubbish. I've tried that before. Oh yeah, I've built an AI agent before and it didn't work. It didn't get my client results. Really? What, you tried it for 1, 2 people and you give up? Is that how it is? That's the level of commitment that you're able to put into this? Let me tell you guys a story. For 7 months straight, every single day, when I was running my agency, every single day for 7 months, I was showing up to at least 5 or 6 sales calls every single day. And it took me 7 months to get that first yes. Genuinely ask yourselves, how many of you would do the same thing that I did? How many of you would show up every single day for 7 months? I'm not talking about, okay, this is just like some side hustle, part-time type of thing that I'm doing. No. I was showing up every single day for 7 months straight. Every single day. Every single day, taking a minimum of 5 calls every day. It took me 7 months before I got that first yes. Before I got that first person who wanted to work with me. Guess what? In the same month that I got that first yes, in the same month that I got my first client, I got another 5 clients in the same month. How does it make sense? How does it make sense that for 7 months straight, I wasn't even able to get one person? But as soon as you break through that ceiling, there's no more limitation. You've exposed your mind to what is actually possible. You attract, right? Because now you've broken through that ceiling. It's not there to limit you anymore. Now up is the only way. When I got my first client, I signed another 5 clients in the same month. Ask yourselves, how many of you would be willing to go through that same journey of 7 months straight, every single day, showing up to calls, getting no's every single day for 7 months straight. Now, this 6-day game plan, hopefully, you don't need to do all of that. Hopefully, with this 6-day game plan, it only takes you 7 days. It only takes you 14 days. That's the whole idea. Taking everything that I've learned in my journey to get to 50 plus clients, which has been painful as shit. I can't fake the journey. You can tell by the way I talk, in the conviction that I have when I explain my process. I've really been through this shit. I've really done this shit. I know what it takes to get to a certain level. And if you want to get to that level too, there's one thing that's universal between every single agency owner that I see that is successful, and that's consistency and perseverance and adaptability. They are able to adapt when the market changes. They are able to stay consistent. They don't give up after 1 client or 2 clients. They don't give up reaching out to people just because they didn't book a call after sending 50 job applications. They go again every single day. And persistence. They don't let things like that 7 month no. Every single day I got no's for 7 months. On the 7th month, I got my first client. Same month, I got another 5 clients. You need to have persistence. You're learning, you're testing, you're iterating. You don't need to get things right for client number 1. The most important thing is that you are willing and you go in with the mindset that you are here to learn. You are here to develop. You are not here to make a ton of money from client number 1. You are not trying to rush this journey. I want to ask every single one of you inside of here right now, how many of you are in this for the long term? Are you in this for the long term? Are you in this for the short term? Are you just looking to get a quick buck and then leave after a year or two? Or do you want to be in this space and dominate this space for the next 5, 10, 15 years? What do you want to do? How many of you want to dominate in this space? Tell me right now inside of the chat. Say you want to dominate your space. Say you want to be here for the long term. Because if you're in this for the short term, honestly, what I'm taking you guys through this whole 6-day game plan is probably not for you. I only want to help people. I only want to work with people who are in this for the long term, who genuinely want to become leaders within their industry, who want to actually shake up their industry, who want to have a real impact on real businesses. Now, the challenge, right, between getting someone to say yes and actually executing is the execution. It's easy. Like I said, it's easy to say, okay, I'm going to call 1,000 people a day who have like 5-year-old HVAC permits and offer them a free thermostat upgrade. It's so easy for me to say that. But what is the actual step-by-step process for me to go and deliver that? Well, I need to go and set up an automation, right, that goes and scrapes people who have 5-year-old permits from government directories. I then need to find out the addresses of these permits. I then need to skip trace those addresses and find out who the homeowner is, find out what their phone number is, find out what their email is. I then need to set up a voice AI system that picks up the phone and calls these homeowners. I then need to connect my Go High Level to my client's calendar. There's so many different steps. It's easy to say, oh yeah, I'm just gonna call 1,000 people a day and we're gonna book a job a day. It's easy to say that. What is actually behind that? How do you actually go and deliver that to someone? What is the step-by-step process? You've got the clear picture, okay, cool, but how do you go and deliver that? Now, the big picture is simple. The execution has lots of steps, like I just gave you in this example, right? I can say I'm gonna call 1,000 people a day. Look, this is really the simplified process. This is the simplified 10-step process. It's probably a lot more to it than that. I mean, I've done this before for HVAC business owners. I know there's a lot more steps than that. The big picture is simple. The execution has lots of steps. And that's what today is about: breaking down your strategy, right, into a step by step execution checklist. So we're going to take exactly what you guys had plotted out from day one, right? What is the game plan? Who are you working with? What are you doing for them? We're going to take that strategy that you originally came up with, and we are going to break it down into a step by step process, just like so. So you can actually understand what's the first thing you need to do, what's the second thing you need to do, what's the third thing you need to do in order to actually get someone a result. Now, the universal framework, right? This is a universal framework that you guys can follow. This can apply to a lot of you. It can apply to some of you, may not apply to any of you at all. Now, I'm not going to go into the specifics of how to deliver, like, let's say, for example, an ad campaign, or how to go and deliver a campaign for HVAC companies where you scrape the permits and you call the people and offer them a free thermostat upgrade. Because every single one of you on the call here today, you're all working with different people and you've all decided different things that you're going to do for these people. It would not make sense for me to just focus in on one specific thing that may apply to one person but doesn't apply to the other 99% of you. I want to apply something that is universal across every single one of you on this call here today. I've broken it down, right, into a phase structure. So phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. And this basically breaks down the 4 phases that you should sort of be trying to replicate. This is the 4-phase game plan that you should be trying to replicate. For example, when you're onboarding your client, you want to make sure you connect their Google Calendar directly to your high-level sub account that you've created for them. You want to agree with them. What is the offer? For example, are we offering a free thermostat upgrade, whatever it may be? This is broken down into 4 phases. Now, obviously, all of you guys have access to the document. Inside of the document, you can see these 4 phases. Make sure it is specific to your game plan. This is just an example. That's why I'm skimming over it. I'm not even going to go too much in depth on it because people are going to get confused and they're going to take it as gospel and just start using this exact step by step. Yours is always going to be different because every single one of you on the call here today is offering something different to a completely different market. So just make sure, right, that you are taking this 4-phase game plan and pretty much chopping it and changing it to your own process. Now, how do we do that? I want to actually make it a little bit more interactive. Now, let's actually see who's actually been the most active inside of the community. Let's check. Now, I'm gonna gamify this, and we're going to do this live for an example for one of you guys who have been active in the 6-day challenge. Spin the wheel. We're gonna spice this up a little bit, guys. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is let's see some of the people who have been super active inside the 6-day challenge. Chanel, I've been seeing her name a lot. Chanel. Who else have we got inside of here? Chanel, Rochelle. Who else have we got? Norman, Lisa. I don't think she's on the call today. Andy, Gregory, Jamie, Lauren. Anyone that I missed? I don't think so. Okay. So these guys, all of you guys have been the ones who have been active inside of the community. You guys have been the ones that are actually communicating with each other, posting and taking action. So what I'm actually going to do, right, is I'm going to spin the wheel right now, and whoever it lands on, I'm going to take your specific game plan. I'm going to take your specific document that you created yesterday, the sales document that you created yesterday, and we are going to create your own, right, step-by-step game plan to onboard someone and actually deliver them a service. So let's go ahead with this wheel. We need someone for it to land on who has completed the day 1 and the day 3. Let's go again. Rochelle, I have just attached a game plan that I am going to use for a 7-day trial for real estate agents. Now, I've attached the game plan in terms of what I'm actually going to do for them, what my offer is for them, and how I'm actually going to deliver them that offer. The problem is, I've got this person to say yes. I've attached my step-by-step game plan in terms of what happens on day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. I've got them to say yes. They've turned into a client. The thing is, I know what I'm supposed to do for them. I know how I'm going to get them a result, but executing it is completely different. This is my first client. I've never worked with anyone before. I've never delivered this kind of service before. So I need help actually understanding what is the step-by-step process that I need to take in order to actually deliver this service. You've got all the details that I've given you. Now help me create a step-by-step, in-depth SOP that I can use to actually execute this game plan, execute what I have planned out so that I can help this real estate agent actually get results. We send that through, copy all of this out, head back over to Claude, now send it through. By the way, I will be attaching, oh great, I will be attaching this chat so that you guys can access this chat as well inside of the document. So you can see the actual prompt that I give Claude, what I use to command Claude, and what prompt I give it. Let me log into a different account. I just prefer Claude over ChatGPT. Okay, let's go in here. There we go. Let me break down exactly what you need to do. Tool by tool, step by step. This is your operational playbook. Now, we can see, right, your entire game plan, Rochelle, that you've given me, now being completely transparent, is not in a lot of depth compared to the other ones I've seen. It's a start, right? I don't want to call you out on the call. It's a start. We've got something, right, which is better than nothing. Claude is going to go and break it down. What's step number 1, Rochelle? What's step number 2? What's step number 3? What you need to do in day 1? What you need to do in day 2? You've got an entire game plan now. Now you know exactly what you need to do, Rochelle, in order to actually get this person results. So you've had this bigger picture, right? You've had this bigger picture of, okay, I know what I'm going to do for someone. I know how I'm going to do it. I know what the bigger picture is. Just call 1,000 expired listings or for sale by owner leads every single day. But how the hell do I find these people? How do I call these people? How do I train my bot? How do I set them up inside of high level? How do I get the client inside of high level? You've got all the details now. Now, like I mentioned, this, right? At this point, you are just developing, you are learning. Obviously, Claude isn't going to be able to tell you exactly what you need to do in order to get this person 5 jobs or 5 listings within the next 7 days or 90 days. But it's giving you a start. It's giving you a direction instead of just saying, okay, I need to call 1,000 people a day and then just doing completely random things every single day. Now you've got a direction. Now you understand exactly what you need to do in order to get this person results. You've got a direction. You understand what step 1 is, step 2, step 3, and now you can actually execute to deliver them that big picture. And that's the whole goal. The whole goal is for you to understand the journey, right? Yourself, understand the journey that you're taking them on to get to that bigger picture. You've got this entire document now, Rochelle. Well done. Obviously, build on top of it. This is just a very rough draft. From what I've seen, guys, and one of my criticisms is a lot of you guys are not being specific enough. A lot of you guys are attaching your game plans or attaching what ChatGPT has given you, but you are not building on top of the framework that I've given you. You need to be able to build on top of it. Get even more specific. Make it even more detailed. Have a conversation with GPT and make it specific to you. Honestly, some of the game plans I've seen, some of the day 1 documents that I've seen, is too generic. It's not specific enough. It's not enticing enough. It's not convincing enough. Remember, right, Rochelle, if you jump onto a call, right, with a real estate agent and you take them through this, you say, hey, this is what happens on day 1, this is what happens on day 2. If this is all you're taking them through, Rochelle, if this is all you're taking them through, when you jump on a call with a real estate agent, they're going to be like, what? How am I meant to visualize what I get access to? How am I meant to visualize that this is something that can bring me 5 listings within the next 90 days? Look at that. I know real estate agents. I've worked with 50 of them. When they look at that, they're going to think, sounds like I'm just crossing my fingers and hoping for the best. You need to have an in-depth document, right? I'll show you guys a perfect example. I think Lisa dropped one inside of here yesterday. She's been our superstar this whole challenge. You guys need to refer to that as like a reference point for you guys. Take a look at this one. Day 3 action, free trial strategy. Look at Lisa's document. Now let's compare Lisa's document, Rochelle. You may not have even completed it, which is completely fine. But let's take her document, right? Compared to the game plan that we just saw from you. She's got an in-depth what happens on day 1, what happens on day 2, what happens on day 3, what happens on day 4. She's got an in-depth process that she's walking these dentists through so that they can actually visualize. They know what's happening in day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. They understand what's happening. And this is the reference that we need to look back at. Lisa, she took the idea that I gave and she built on top of it. I didn't build this document for her. She built it herself, but she had to be creative, innovative, and understand that just one prompt to GPT, one simple command, taking that without even reading over it properly is not enough. You need to build on top of it. So this game plan that we've just come up with Claude, you should be going through this in depth. Okay, but you missed this step. Okay, what about that step? You need to go through it in depth and critique it so that it can build on top of what we've got here. I'm going to take this link and I'm also going to share it inside of our document here. I'll drop it right at the bottom. All of you guys can access this link. You can see the exact command that I gave to Claude and you can build on top of that, right? You can use that same command that I gave to Claude for your own game plans, for your own document that you showed or that you built on day 1 and on day 3. Awesome. Now, I also dropped the link inside of the chat for anyone who is not signed up as an affiliate or anyone who's not inside the paid community yet. I've got the link inside of the chat so that you can get access to all of the systems that I just walked through here today. The voice AI system, how to scrape and find people who have expired permits for real estate, for HVAC, for roofers, for home remodelers. You get access to all of that stuff. Hey guys. Jamie, Lauren, Jeff, Rochelle, what's up, guys? Give it a minute or two and then we will go ahead and get started. Chanel, Gregory, what is up? We are down to the last 2 days of the challenge. It's gone by really quickly, to be honest, and I've actually enjoyed it a lot. This is my first time doing an actual 6-day challenge, and it's definitely something that I want to make use of more in the future. That's for sure. I know we've gone through a lot of different things over the last couple of days. We're on day 5 already. We've got one event left tomorrow and then this whole thing is wrapped up. The most important thing is to make sure that everything we've covered over these 6 days is being implemented, is to make sure that everything we've covered over these 6 days is actually being used to go and sign your first few clients. And you definitely can. You can use everything we're covering over these 6 days to actually go and sign clients, to get people into your calendar, to get people into a free trial. And today, what we are going to cover is how do we move from that process, right, of working with people on a free trial. How do we transition from working with people on a free trial to working with people for 3K upfront and 997 a month? Because those two processes are completely different. For you to work with someone on a free trial, you don't really need a lot of leverage. You don't really need case studies. You don't really need content. You don't really need them to trust you, for them to like you, for them to know you. You don't need a lot of things in order to get a free trial sign up. But for someone to pay you 3K upfront and 997 a month, that process looks completely different. In order for you to get a client who pays you 3K upfront and 997 a month, the process you are going to go through in order to sign someone who pays you upfront, multi 4 figures, is going to be a completely different process to the one you use to sign someone on a free trial. And that is exactly what we are going to be covering here today. What does that transition look like? And how do you make that transition? Because where we currently are, we know exactly who we're working with, what we're doing for them, how we are doing it for them. We know exactly how to actually get these people into our calendar, what the targets are, and how we find people who are interested, right, in bringing someone on who can help them book more jobs, get more appointments, ultimately help them make more money. You know what to say to these people. Now, once they book a call into your calendar, you know exactly what you need to say to them in order to convert them into an actual free trial client. And now you know exactly what you are going to do once they say yes. You know exactly the step-by-step process you are going to take them through to onboard them and deliver them a service. Now, today, you've got your first client, right? On day 5, what we are going to cover now, at this point, you've already got that first client. You've already started delivering for them. You've got your step-by-step document that you're following. You've got your step-by-step process that you're using to actually deliver a service to this client. Now your goal shifts, right? Your goal shifts. I want you guys to remember why client number 1 even exists in this first place. You're not just working with client number 1, just for the experience, just so you can understand what it's like to work with a client, just so you can understand the expectations of a client. Yes, all of these things are important, but more importantly, you want to make sure that you can actually get this person results so you can turn them into a case study. And that case study then becomes leverage for you to use. Now, how do we go, right, about actually collecting this leverage? How do we go about building this leverage? Why do we have client number 1 as a lab rat? Client number 1 acts as the building block for us to be able to go and charge 3K upfront and 997 a month for every other client that comes after number 1. So you want to make sure that you can get it right the first time. You want to make sure that from that first client, you can build your leverage immediately. So every other client that comes after that, you can position yourself in a way where you can command high ticket prices. The reason why client number 1 exists in the first place, the reason why we are working with this person on a free trial in the first place, is so that every other client, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, every other person that comes after client number 1, we can be in a position where we have leverage, we have case studies, we have confidence within ourselves, within our service, to be able to command a high ticket price from this person. Now, let's actually understand, why can you not charge 3K upfront right now? Why can you not charge multi 4 figures right now? Why can you not command the same prices that I'm commanding right now? You have no case studies. You have no testimonials. You have no social proof, no authority, no leverage. If you try to charge 3K upfront right now, nobody is going to pay it. Nobody is going to work with you. Nobody is going to like you enough, trust you enough, and believe in you enough to pay you 3K right now, because you don't have the things in place that are necessary in order to command those types of prices from people. These people don't know you, they don't trust you, and they have no proof that you know what you're even doing. They have no proof that you can even deliver what you say you can deliver. Now, compare that to where I am in my journey, right? When someone books a call with me, they've already seen my YouTube videos. They've seen my case studies. They've seen my school community. They know who I am. They like me. They trust me. And they have actually already decided that they want to work with me before they ever even speak with me. Honestly, but guys, by the time someone books a call into my calendar, I already know this person has made a subconscious decision that they want to buy from me, that they want to work from me. They want to work with me. I already know this because of the journey that I'm taking them through, because of the leverage that I have. I know that every single person that ends up in my calendar, they already know who I am. They already like me. They already trust me. They've seen my school community. They've seen my YouTube videos. They've seen my interviews with my clients. The amount of steps that I've taken them through before they even get onto a call with me, at this point, when I do speak to them, they're already 80% closed. They've already made 80% of the decision to work with me. Really and truly, when I jump on the call with them, I have 20% of work that's left in order to convert that person into an actual paying client. And that's the power of leverage. That's what leverage gives you. My YouTube channel acts as leverage. My school community acts as leverage. My interviews with my clients, they act as leverage. All of these different things. You guys are only on this call here today because of the leverage that I have. The first ever post that I made, there's always a first person that comments on it. And then there's a second person, then there's a third person. What is happening subconsciously without you even knowing it? When I posted about this 6-day challenge, you might have looked at it and just skipped it. Then you saw that there's 100 other people who have commented who want access to the 6-day challenge. And at this point, our monkey brains are going off thinking, wait, hold on a second. Saeed's got 100 other people who are interested in this 6-day challenge. It must be something valuable because 100 other people want it. So I now also want it too. That's just one very small example of how leverage works. My YouTube channel, when you see my videos and you see that I've got let's say for example 2,000 other people watching one specific video, you're going to click onto that same video. You're going to see, why are there 2,000 other people who think that this is valuable? Why are there 2,000 other people that want to actually watch this, that want to spend 20, 30, 40 minutes of their time watching this video of Saeed's? What's so special about it? Let me also go and find out. You're investing your attention, you're investing your time and energy to understand more about me, which again, I mentioned this a day ago, 2 days ago. I'm hosting this 6-day challenge for completely free. I haven't asked for a single dime from a single one of you. I'm hosting this 6-day challenge for completely free. But really and truly, it's not free, is it? It's not actually free, is it? Because you're paying me with what? You're paying me with your attention. And when you pay me with your attention, when you give me enough of that attention, look, you guys have sat down with me for 6 days, for 6 hours. We're basically a family now, right? So the people who have been interacting with each other inside of the chat, inside of the school community, there's that sense of connection now. Over the course of 6 days, I've built this connection with you. I've taken enough attention from you to be able to do what? To be able to know that, okay, you may not turn into a client today. You may not turn into a client tomorrow. May not pay me today, but you're paying me with your attention. And when you pay me with enough of your attention, what eventually happens? Eventually, that attention that you're paying me with turns into cash that you pay me with, turns into the assets that you will pay me with. So I'm not in a rush. I can host these 6-day challenges and be patient, because I know over the course of these 6 days, the relationship that I am building with every single one of you on this call here today, the attention that I am getting from every single one of you on this call here today, that is eventually going to convert some of you into my one-on-one clients. Some of you may join my mastermind. Some of you may go and sign up as an affiliate of mine with High Level. In some way, shape, or form, over the 6 days that I'm spending with you guys, it's going to be enough to convert you guys into actually putting cash into my pocket. Now, you need to understand, right, this process. You need to understand, just like how I've done it, right, to get you guys on this call for the next 6 days, the process that I've taken you guys through in order to be able to convert that cash from your pocket into mine. It's a process. If this was like getting someone onto a free trial is easy. Getting someone to say yes to a free trial is really not that difficult. You don't need case studies. You don't need leverage. You don't need a YouTube channel. You don't need a community. You don't need any of that stuff. Because getting someone into a free trial, let's all face it, they have more to gain than they have to lose. They're not paying you a single dime. If it doesn't work out, what do they have to lose? Nothing. And if it does work out, they have more to gain than you do. If it does work out, then they get one job which is worth 5k to them. They have more to gain than you do. They have more to gain than they have to lose, which obviously makes it a no-brainer, which obviously means it's going to be easy to get someone onto a free trial. But where I see people struggle, right, is making that transition from the free trial to actually charge people up front. Now, let's just be honest. We live, right, the current market that we're in a crisis, guys. We're in a crisis where there is so much barriers with trust. People do not trust each other. Nobody in the market right now has genuine trust. Every single business owner, right, has worked with an agency before. Every single local business has worked with an agency before. Every single business has spoken to someone like yourselves before. They've tried the Facebook ads before. They've been promised results before, and they've lost money on services that have failed. So naturally, they're going to be skeptical. Naturally, they're going to be tired. Naturally, they are not going to trust anyone, are they? If you jump on the call with them and they've never heard of you before, right? They don't like you, they don't trust you, and you expect them to be able to make a multi-4-figure investment, it's ludicrous. Think of it like this, right? You guys are all running an agency. You guys are all building a business yourselves. If you go and speak to someone, right, who says, hey, we're going to get you 100 clients in the next 2 days, or we'll give you our left kidney, whatever it may be. If you go and speak to someone like that, let's actually envision it. Let's say you jump on that call, you have no idea who this person is. You've never seen their face before. You don't trust them. You don't like them. You have no idea whether or not they can actually get you results or not. It's kind of just a hit or miss. You jump on the call with that person and they ask you for a multi-4-figure investment towards the end of the call. How easy of a decision is it going to be for you guys to make? Is that going to be an easy decision? Tell me right now inside the chat. If that type of person approaches you, is that going to be an easy decision for you to make? Are you just going to make that 4-figure commitment? You've never seen this person before. You don't trust this person. You don't like this person. You don't know this person. Are you going to give them that multi 4-figure commitment? Of course not. Jamie says no. Rochelle says no. Maybe some of you think yes. I'm not sure if you're not responding, but it's pretty. It just takes logic, right? If you yourself would not make that kind of commitment to someone like that, then why the hell would you expect the local businesses, the businesses that you're reaching out to, why the hell would you expect them to make that kind of same commitment towards you? It doesn't make sense, does it? You need to understand that you need to build leverage. You need to understand how to build leverage, on what type of leverage you actually need to build. Now, what I am going to do is I'm going to show you guys exactly how I built my leverage to a point, right, where I had 100 people who were all interested in the 6-day event. I've got 20 people live watching this right now. Over the last 5 days, how many people have we had coming in and out of these calls? That only is possible because I have leverage. And in business, if you want to go far, you need leverage. If you want to go far, you need leverage, because without it, now you're just building a glorified sales agency, right? Where you're constantly chasing your own tail every single month, trying to beg clients to work with you. With me, I've never ever had to do that. I know how to build a process where clients chase me, where people chase me, they book in my calendar, they want to work with me, they are justifying themselves as to why they are a good fit to work with me. Now, let me show you exactly what you need to do in order to build that same kind of leverage for your own agency. Cool. Now, how I've already taken you guys through the difference between where you currently are and where I currently am, right? When someone books a call with me, they've seen my videos, they've seen my case studies, they've joined my community, they've gone through my content, they want to work with me before I ever even speak to them. And that's the difference between me being able to charge 3K upfront and 997 a month like it's nothing. I don't really even need to convince people to make that investment because I have all the leverage. So how do you build leverage in a similar type of way? Now, your first client is going to give you 3 different points of leverage, 2 different points of leverage. Now, the first thing you are going to do in order to get that leverage is an interview, 20 to 30 minutes, right? All you need is an interview that is 20 to 30 minutes long, where you are literally just glorifying why what you do is so great and how it helped this person get results. Honestly, this interview is the strongest point of leverage you can build upon. That's why I said the most important thing for client number 1 is to actually try and get them results, and is to actually try and help them. Because like I mentioned on day number 2, that client, right, is going to pay you they're going to pay you with something more valuable than money. They're going to pay you with the experience that you gain from them and the leverage that you gain from them. This one interview that is 20 to 30 minutes long, this one interview can be the exact same thing that wins you 10 clients. This one interview is something that you are going to use as leverage for as long as you are in the space. You continuously want to build on your leverage. You continuously want to build on the interviews that you have. You literally just jump on the call with the client, what their problem was before working with you. So, hey, before we started working together, Jack, how many calls were you booking? Or how many jobs were you booking on average per week? Okay, and how many jobs did you get after we started working together? Okay, and how easy was the process for you? What would you say to other people who are watching this interview who are also thinking about working with us one-on-one? And you're going to post this on YouTube. Now, every single one of you should be posting this on YouTube. I don't want to see Loom videos. I don't want to see all that just nonsense. You want to be posting on YouTube directly. Let me refer back to this, the crisis that we're in, right? The trust crisis that we're in. What is so different between posting on YouTube and just having a Loom video? You can record essentially 2 of the exact same videos. One of them I post it on Loom, one of them I post it on YouTube. What is the difference between both? Now, when I post this client interview on YouTube, you're not trying to go viral. You're not trying to get seen by 1 million people. No, that video is there to refer back to for all the people who do book a call with you. So someone books a call with you, then you have an automation that sends them to an interview that they need to watch. Just like I have myself. Whenever someone books a call with me, I redirect them to an interview that they need to watch before they actually speak to me. And that video is where? It's on YouTube. Why? YouTube gives you unlimited amounts of leverage. When you post a video on YouTube, it doesn't matter that you have 0 subscribers. It doesn't matter that you have 0 videos. It doesn't matter that this is your first video. I started in the same exact position that you're starting in. I started with zero too. I started with 0 videos too. I had 0 people watching my content too. You have to start somewhere. And just the simple fact that you are posting that video on YouTube, right, and redirecting your prospects to that YouTube video, think of what it does to someone psychologically. When they can see that it is a YouTube video and not just some sort of standard loom, they are automatically separating you from everyone else that they've spoken to before, because everyone is sending them to a loom video. Every single person is like, okay, great, you booked a call, go watch this loom video. That loom video is only accessible via link. This YouTube video, what does it do via psychologically when someone sees that? Hold on a second. I've just seen Saeed's YouTube video. He's not scared of putting himself out there. He's actually creating videos, creating content, and pushing his solution out into the market. He's not scared of showing what he has to the world. He's not scared of sharing his value to the world. He's posting himself on YouTube. He's posting himself to the world. He's showing the value he has to offer. Whereas someone who just sends a loom video, they still may have their doubts. They're going to think this seems like a shady backdoor deal. When you're posting yourself to YouTube, what happens? When you post yourself to YouTube, these people can see that you have confidence in your service. You have confidence in being able to deliver. They can see that you are actively going out there and promoting your solution to the marketplace, which automatically, even if you have 0 subscribers, automatically they see that and think, okay, I automatically trust this person more. Just simply for the fact that it is a YouTube video. Just simply for that one fact. Remember, you're not posting this video on YouTube to go viral or try to blow up. You're posting this video on YouTube for the people who actually book a call with you. Like, you don't even care if you get 0 views on the video. The video is not there to serve a purpose of you going viral. If you do, great, awesome, even better for you. But that's not the purpose it serves. The purpose it serves is to go in front of people who have already booked a call with you, let them see that you are on a platform where you are actively promoting your solution to the world and that you are not scared to do that. It automatically makes them trust you more and like you more. Every single one of you have probably watched some of my YouTube videos. Every single one of you. And just for the fact that you've seen my YouTube video instead of a loom video, think about how much more you already like me and trust me. Naturally, over time, your channel will build up as you start to post more content, as you start to gain more client interviews. Your channel will build up. But for right now, your intention is not to go viral. Your intention is not to blow up. Your intention isn't to sign 100 clients from YouTube itself. The only intention of YouTube is to act as a psychological factor which helps people who book a call with you like you more, trust you more, and be more ready to actually invest with you when they jump on that call with you. The next thing you are going to do is you are going to build a case study video. Now, once you get, right, client number 1 results, now what I want you to do is literally just create a VSL. Create a recording of you walking through exactly what you've done in order to get them a result. Now, that game plan that we worked through together on day 3, you can literally just record a video 10 to 15 minutes long walking through the game plan. Okay, guys, so this is Stacy. We worked with Stacy for 7 days, and this is exactly what we did with Stacy over the course of 7 days. Number 1, we went and scraped the list of permits for Stacy. This is exactly where we got the list of permits from. This is how we scraped the list of permits. This is then what happened after that. We called them. We called 1,000 people a day. We booked 1 job a day, 7 jobs a week, 28 jobs a month, X, Y, and Z. All you are doing, right, is you're taking client number 1 that you've already got a result for, and you're just basically reverse engineering how they got a result. So this is Stacy. I booked her 1 job in 7 days, or I booked her 5 jobs in 7 days. Now what I'm going to show you guys is exactly how I got her those 5 jobs. This was step number 1, this was step 2, this was step 3, this was step 4, and you basically just share your screen and show them the live example of exactly what you did for Stacy. You're literally just showing them exactly what you did for Stacy. All you are doing is sharing your screen. This is one of my clients. This is how I got them the result. This is exactly the same thing we are going to be doing for you. Same exact thing we are going to be doing for you. Now, when they see that, again, now they have a much clearer picture to refer to. They can see, okay, this person's actually worked with someone before. They've seen the client interview already, but now they're seeing what you actually did for this specific client, which helps them again buy into your process a lot more, invest into it a lot more, and actually believe in it so much more. So now when they jump on that call with you, they know what to expect. They've already seen the video, they know what you do. Think of it like this, right? If someone watches that video and they think, nah, this guy, he has no clue what he's talking about. Saeed has no clue what he's talking about. This is just all a bunch of shit. I don't think it's going to work. I don't think it's going to help me get results. I don't think this makes any kind of sense for me. Does that person proceed to show up to the call? Do they? Of course not. Do they proceed to spend another 30 minutes to 45 minutes speaking with me when they've already told themselves, I don't think this stuff works? I think it's just a bunch of garbage? Of course not. So who shows up to the call then? The only people that show up to the call are people who know exactly who you are. They've seen your face. They like you. They trust you. And more importantly than anything, they believe that you can actually get them a result before you've ever even spoken to them. They've already seen an interview that you've done with your client. They've already seen the case study video. They know exactly what you are going to do and how you are going to do it to get them that bigger picture, to get them that outcome. When they jump onto the call with you guys, they're already 80% sold. They've already made the decision, oh, wait, I think this can genuinely help me. I think this can genuinely get me a result. By the time they jump on that call with you, they're already 80% sold. Really and truly, you just need to figure out what is that 20% that's holding them back? What is that 20% that they may not be sure about? And you get them across the finishing line. That's how you command high ticket prices. That's the type of system that you need to build before you jump onto these calls with people where you can charge a multi four-figure investment. Now, I've broken it down into a step-by-step process, right? Obviously, step number one, you need to get someone a result, right? Broken it down exactly how you can get this person a result. We've already covered this yesterday in terms of the fulfillment. If something's not working out, iterate, change, be adaptable, be consistent, and be persistent. Step number two, obviously, you need to record the interview. And we've got a little script that you can use or a framework that you can use in order to record this interview. Some technical tips, where to record the interview, make sure you have lighting, X, Y, and Z. And then step number three, create your case study, right? What do you want inside of that case study? What should be included as part of that case study? And now, what I'm going to walk you through, guys, is the customer journey. Step number 6, because there's two things I just skipped over right here, which is number 1, right, creating a qualification form, and number 2, which is obviously building a YouTube channel, which I touched on a little bit. But really and truly, the ultimate goal that I'm trying to get to is building a customer journey. Now, what do I mean by that? You need to have leverage in order to have a customer journey. Leverage that takes someone from the point of who is this person to I need to work with them. When people come and book a call with me, guys, by the time someone discovers who I am, some of you have been watching my content, staying on top of my school community, seeing my videos for maybe some of you have been watching my stuff for months, weeks, years, maybe. But I know that. And that is all intentional. That's not happening by accident. Because I know the crisis that we're in. I know that we're in a crisis where people don't trust people anymore. I know that for you to be comfortable enough to pay me 5K to work with me one-on-one, you need to trust me. You need to have a relationship with me. For you to join my mastermind, for you to even join me as an affiliate, you need to trust me enough and like me enough, because likeliness is you've seen all these different guys. One person telling you to go in this direction, another person telling you to go in this direction, one person's telling you to go up, another person's telling you to go down. All these different people are telling you different things. Hey, do reputation management. Hey, do database reactivation. Hey, sell a chatbot to someone. Hey, sell a voice AI to someone. Everyone, right, has their own way of doing things. And you guys have been in the space long enough. You're intelligent enough to know that this is a space full of marketers. Everyone's marketing to everybody, right? Now, I understand that. I know that. That's why for my journey, I don't try to compete with this guy or that person or this person. I don't care about what my competition are doing, because I have a very specific process and I stay true to my process. My process isn't, oh, reputation management is the best thing you should be doing, or voice AI is the best thing you should be doing. I don't sell shiny objects. I don't give a shit about shiny objects. I don't care about voice AI in and of itself. I don't care about chatbots in and of itself. What am I taking you guys through in this 6-day challenge? I'm taking you through something that's actually valuable. I'm showing you how to actually sign clients. I'm not selling you a pile of shit. I'm not selling you voice AI. I'm not selling you a chatbot. I'm showing you the step-by-step process that you need to take in order to get towards your bigger picture of having a scalable, productizable agency. Most people, what do? Oh, sell this voice AI system, sell this chatbot system, sell reputation management. They are selling you an idea, right? And that idea has got you where? Spinning your wheels for weeks and months. It doesn't work. I know that. That's why when you come across me, think about how long you guys have been seeing my stuff for. How long have you been in my community for? How long have you seen my YouTube videos for? How long have you seen my Facebook posts for? Most of you probably say weeks, months. Do you think that's happening by accident? You think I don't know that's what's going on? I want that to happen. Every single thing that you guys have gone through in order to get onto this challenge here today is intentional. Every single step I've taken you guys through was intentional. I've taken you through a step-by-step journey, right, which was intentional and strategically thought out. I know that when you come across me on day one, you might see one of my videos on day one, but I know that you're not going to book a call with me on day one. Some of you do, cool. But I know that the best type of clients that I've worked with are typically the clients who see my video one day and then go over my stuff for the next 30 days. My average customer journey is 28 days. Someone sees my stuff and then they continue to watch my videos, see my content, my school community, X, Y, and Z for the next 7 to 28 days before they book a call with me. I know what my customer journey looks like. And you also need to build something very similar for yourselves. You need to have a journey that you are taking people through. What do I mean by that? What is the process, right? Where do you find this person? What happens after this person says yes? Are you sending them directly to your calendar? Are you sending them to a qualification form? What happens after that? Are you sending them to a video? Which video? Do they just watch one video? Do they watch two videos? What is the step-by-step process that you are taking people through? You need to build leverage. I've showed you guys how to build a VSL video. I've showed you guys how to build an interview video with one of your clients. What I also suggest, I strongly suggest, is build a community. Maybe not on Go High Level, maybe not on school, but build a community, even if it's on Facebook. Make a Facebook group, create a Facebook group which gives you leverage, which allows your clients to interact with one another inside the community. I allow you guys to interact with one another over these 6 days. Think about it. Some of you have become great friends over this last 6 days because I encourage promotion. I encourage collaboration between one another. And when you guys are collaborating with one another, it's not just me that you're buying into. This isn't just my community, it's our community. And that's what I'm building. I'm building a bigger picture. I'm building something that's much bigger than just myself. And I want you guys to ask yourselves the same thing. Is that what you're trying to build? Are you trying to build something that's bigger than yourself? Are you trying to build something that grows beyond just you? That's what I'm trying to do. And that's why I've created stuff like the community, created leverage, which attracts high quality people into my process. Now, how do you build this customer journey, right? You need to understand where is the point that they are discovering me from. So whether it's cold outreach via LinkedIn, whatever it may be, LinkedIn, Indeed, you're doing the outreach, someone says yes. Once they say yes, what happens? You want to qualify them. That's what I would do. The next step I'm taking them through is the qualification, the consideration. I'm qualifying this person, right, to make sure that number one, they actually are a high intent lead, and number two, that they actually have the money to work with me. When you start charging multi four figures, guys, at the start, when you're doing a free trial, you don't really need to qualify people. It doesn't matter who really books a call with you. You don't really need to ask them, hey, do you have multi four figures to invest? It's not really that important. What I want to refer to is I want you guys to go into the school community and you can speak to me one-on-one. Look at my calendar and look at the qualification process that I take people through in order to book a call with me. There's so many different questions that I'm asking someone, and the most important question, right, is which best describes how you'd like to get started with Saeed and the team to start signing clients using AI. Do you want to work with me one-on-one, which is a multi four-figure investment? Do you want to just join my community, which is $297 a month? Do you want to sign up as an affiliate of mine, or are you just exploring? Someone who says they're just exploring, do you think I'm going to jump on that call with them? Of course not. It makes zero sense for me to jump on that call with someone. For you guys, the question is going to be really black and white. Hey, it's a multi four-figure investment to work with us one-on-one. Can you commit to that investment, yes or no? If someone says no, they don't even get sent to your calendar. The only people that are able to book with you are people who have literally said, yes, I have the money to work with you. Yes, I'm ready to make a four-figure commitment. Show me why I should make this commitment. And then obviously after they book, you're building that awareness with them, right? You're going to have an automation, for example, that sends them an email. Hey, join my private community inside of Facebook or on Go High Level or on School. Make them go and watch more of your videos. Make them watch that interview that you done with your client, that case study that you done to show how you got that client result. Make them go through all of that stuff. They watch your interviews, right? They watch your case study video. They read your content. They join your private community. And now think of where they are. At the start, when they booked a call with you, they had no clue who you were. They didn't like you. They didn't trust you. They didn't really have an intent of buying. Now think of where they, by the time they book a call to the time they speak with you, they've seen your community, they've seen your case studies, they've seen your interviews, they've seen your YouTube. At this point, they're warming themselves up to be able to actually make that multi four-figure investment, to make that multi four-figure decision. Because making that decision, it's not as easy as just jumping on the call, being the best salesman on the planet and thinking you can close someone. Like I said, we're in a crisis nowadays, guys. People do not trust anyone anymore. Most businesses have worked with other agencies just like yourselves who are promising the exact same thing. You need to build leverage, you need to build case studies, and you need to build something that shows people that they can trust you, because we're in a people to people business. By the time they book a call with you, they show up ready to buy. You close them for 3K, 997 a month, and that only happens if you have leverage. You cannot start charging 3K upfront and 997 a month if you don't have leverage. You need to build that leverage before you start charging high ticket, and that is the exact reason why we have that first client coming in on a free trial. Look at the process to sign a free trial client. It's low friction, right? It doesn't require friction at all. For you to sign a high ticket client, someone who's going to pay you 3K upfront and 997 a month, it's a completely different process that you're taking them through. Two completely different processes. You cannot use the process you're using for a free trial in order to sign someone for 3K and 997 a month. Now, what am I going to push you guys to do here today? Push for that first client result. How many outreaches a day are you guys doing? From what we covered in day 2, have you been consistent? Have you been doing it every single day? Have you been posting about it inside of the community? As soon as you get a result, message them, right, to schedule an interview. If you're about to get your first client, create your interview question list. Set all of this stuff up. Make sure you know what to do after you've got your first client a result. Make sure you know exactly what you need to do in order to build, right, a journey, a customer journey to attract high level people, to attract people who know you, who like you, who trust you, who are ready to pay you 3K upfront and 997 a month. Now, all of this stuff that I just took you guys through, this is the same process that I use for myself. It's the same process I'm using right now. I literally pulled back the curtain for the process I'm using right now to sign clients right now. You can look at my process. You can look at my customer journey. This is the same thing I'm using right now. This isn't something that I just made up. I think it works. It might work. It worked a year ago. This is something I'm using now, today, to sign my own clients right now. Now, in order to build that leverage, it's easy to say, right? Oh, yeah, I'm going to post an interview and I'm going to make a case study on YouTube and I'm going to have a community on Facebook or School. How do you build leverage for all these things? How do you build leverage for all these things? How do you get people through the process of actually wanting to pay you 3K upfront and 997 a month? Every single step that I've taken you guys through here today, a customer journey, right? The process that you need in order to sign people for 3K upfront and 997 a month, plug and play, given away to you. Every single process, from what you say on the interview, how you build that case study, how you set up a community, what questions to ask in the qualification form, how to set up the automations that send them to the video to watch, that send them to your private community. Every single thing, from the reminders that you use to make sure that you get a high show up, every single one of these things is given away when you join the affiliate or when you join the paid mastermind. We're on day 5 already, guys. How many of you have joined? I know a few of you guys have actually gone through and signed up. You've been messaging me on school. Some of you are already registered for the private cohort, which begins next week. The private cohort that begins next week, everything that we're going over today in the last 5 days at a high level overview, how much can I show you? How much can I give away? In the private cohort, it's going to last 6 weeks, and every single thing behind what I'm showing you guys today, we're going to go into in depth. The automations you need that redirect people to the YouTube video, redirect them to your private community, make sure that they actually show up to the call. What happens if they don't show up to the call? Every single process is completely automated. Every single process is just given away to you, plug and play. You don't need to figure these things out on your own. What I've taken you through here today, how many of you know what to do step by step? How to structure that YouTube video, how to structure your YouTube channel, how to drive traffic to that YouTube channel. It's a lot easier, right, to think about it at a higher level and say, okay, yeah, I can create a client interview. Okay, I can send people to watch this video after they book a call with me. How? If you don't have the automation that sends them to that video, if you don't have the automation that sends them to your private community, if you don't have the automation that warms them up to get 80% sold before they even book a call with you, how are you going to do that? It's a process. It's a customer journey. It's easy to conceptualize it, right? But that customer journey only comes together when you have the right system in place. Every single person that I speak to, every single person that I speak to in my calendar, I spend like 2 minutes. I spend 2 minutes to actually get them into the calendar in the first place. What do I spend 2 minutes doing? Literally looking at the form that they filled out for me before they even book. I never reach out to someone manually. I never chase anyone manually. Every single person that books a call with me comes to me. They chase me because of the leverage that I have. I literally showed you guys my whole process today. My whole process, I've given it away to you. Literally, in real life, I've showed you what is the purpose of my school community. You guys are the biggest testament. Every single one of you on the call here today are the biggest testament of the journey that I've walked you through here today. You are all only here because of the journey I walked you through here today. So would you not want a journey like that yourself? Andy says he's been watching my stuff for 1 or 2 years. Andy is still here today. He's been watching my stuff for 1 or 2 years. He's still here today on this 6-day mastermind. Why? Because I have leverage, because I know how to keep people interested in what I do, because I know how to keep people interested in the value I have to offer for 1 or 2 years. Do you not want something that's the same? Do you not want something that's going to bring you high level people who genuinely invest into you, who buy into you, who like you and trust you, who are willing to pay you high ticket prices month in and month out? If that is something that you want, then what are we waiting for? Why don't you get access to every single one of the systems that I've given away inside of my private community, inside of the affiliate when you sign up? I've just dropped the link inside of the chat. Let's go ahead and get this thing on the road. We are on day 6, guys. The final day of the 6-day challenge. And in today, what we are going to cover is how to actually go from the process, right, of working with that free trial client, signing your first couple of clients who pay you up front. And now we want to build something that is scalable and something that is productizable. We do not want you to be a glorified freelancer. In the last 5 days, we've showed you how to build a solid strategy and a solid foundation, who you're working with, what you're doing for this person, and how you're doing it. We've showed you exactly how to find these people and how to get these people into your calendar. We've showed you the targets that you should be aiming for. We've showed you what to be saying to get these people into your calendar. We showed you exactly what to do once you speak to these people. When they book a call with you, when they go into your calendar, what do you now say to convert them from just being a sales call to an actual free trial, to an actual paying client? Day 4, what is the step-by-step process that you take these people through in order to get them a result? How do you onboard this person? And how do you actually go out and execute your step-by-step game plan? And day 5, what we covered yesterday was how to build real leverage, how to build a real business where people know you, like you, trust you, where people are comfortable paying you a multi-4-figure investment. Now in day 6, right, I'm going to show you how to go from 1 client to 10 plus clients without having to work 100 hours per week, having to work ridiculous hours, wasting all of your time, wasting all of your energy, speaking to people back and forth, doing a bunch of custom client work, putting out fires over here or putting out fires over there. Every single time you break one barrier, you might have signed your first client or your first one, two, three clients. Every time you break through one barrier, there's always another barrier to break through. And usually when people break through that first barrier of, okay, I've just got my first few clients and, I'm starting to get this thing on the road and I'm really picking up momentum, the next thing that they run into is scalability. Scalability becomes a real issue. And that's what today is focused on. How do we actually productize and scale? How do we make sure that you are in a position where you can sign 50, 60, 70 clients without having the headache of having to fulfill them all yourself, without having the headache of putting out fires every single day? We want to make sure that you are positioned in a way where you can grow as quickly as possible, right? With the least amount of logistical issues. Now, the ultimate goal, right? The ultimate goal is for you to build one time and sell many times. Now, here's what real agencies look like compared to people who are glorified freelancers. Glorified freelancers, they build custom solutions for every single client. You work with this person, you work with that person, you work with that person, and for every single different client that you have, you're doing three completely different things. You might have three clients, and for all three clients, you're doing something completely different for all three of them. Every single time you sign a new client, you're starting from scratch every single time. You're building something custom for this person. You're starting from scratch, and I guess you're trying to build what they want instead of building something which is universal that can be applied to any single business in that specific niche. And you're spending way too much time, 40 to 60 hours per client, 40 to 60 hours per client, because you're doing all this custom work. You're building this automation for them. You're building that website for them. You're doing their review management for them. You're calling their leads for them. You're doing this for them. You're doing that for them. And at most, you're a human. You only have a certain amount of time and a certain amount of energy every single day. You're a finite person. You have a finite amount of time and a finite amount of energy every single day. You cannot sign more than 5, 6 clients, maybe, taking this kind of approach. And you are going to burn out very, very quickly. You are going to run into that issue of hitting that ceiling. You're going to sign 5 clients, and for all 5 clients, you're doing 5 different things. For all 5 clients, they have 5 different expectations. For all 5 clients, you have essentially created yourself a glorified job. That's what you've created yourself. You created yourself a glorified job where you are running around like a headless chicken, building this for someone, building that for someone, and building that for someone. That is not what you want. You want to have a productized agency where you build one system. You copy and paste it for every single client that you work with. It takes you max 4 hours per client per month, and you can easily handle 25, 30, 40. I signed 50 clients with this same exact model, which did not require a ton of time from me, which did not require a ton of energy from me. I had one team member. I had a super lean team, one person and myself. We ran a 50 client operation with just one person and myself, and we ran a 50 client operation because we built something that allowed us to stay lean. We built something that allowed us to sign 50 clients without having logistical issues, without having fulfillment issues, without having acquisition issues. We broke all of those barriers. We got past all of those barriers because we positioned our business in the correct way. Now, we want you to build something one time for client number 1 and then sell it multiple times to client number 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the ultimate form of leverage. The ultimate form of leverage is being able to create a digital product. The ultimate form of leverage is being able to build something one time and profit from it multiple times. Look at the biggest people in the space. Look at the biggest people in the industry. They're all doing the same thing. They build something one time and they sell it to multiple people. The same thing that they sell to clients number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are the same things that they sell to clients number 7, 8, 9, and 10. Every single person is buying into the same process. Every single person is receiving the same repeatable product, the same repeatable system, the same repeatable process. And that's what leverage is. When you can put your time and energy into building something one time. You put your time and energy into building something one time, but you profit from it weeks to come, months to come. And that's exactly how I signed 50 clients. I built something for one client. I built something for my first client. I made sure it worked for my first client. But every other client, all other 49 clients that I signed after that first client, essentially, I was selling them the same framework that I developed from client number one. Of course, there were iterations and new things, and of course, I improved my product all the time. But ultimately, the framework of the system that I was selling was the same framework I developed from client number one. I put my time and energy into something one time, and it paid me weeks to come, months to come. And that is the ultimate form of leverage, where you can put your time and energy into something one time and profit from it months down the line. Now, why is client number one so important? I keep referring back to client number one and how important they are. Yes, they gave us real world experience. Yes, they gave us a proven concept. Yes, they gave us case studies. Yes, they gave us a product. But most importantly, right, they gave us the confirmation that what we are doing works. And when you have the confirmation of what you are doing works, you have a proven concept now, right? And now you can build a product around that proven concept. When you work with client number one and you are able to actually validate that your idea is able to get results in the marketplace, now you have a proven concept. And from that proven concept, what are you going to do? You are going to productize that concept. You are going to take every single thing that worked for client number one and productize it. Now, in order to do that, you need to actually know what worked, what actually got client number one a result in the first place. How did I get client number one a result? If you were just lucky and you have no idea how you actually got this person a result, it was just pure luck, then you won't be able to repeat it, will you? How are you going to take what you did for client number one and repeat it for client number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6? You won't be able to do that if you do not know what actually worked and what didn't. So after working with client number one, you need to actually analyze. You need to put your data analytical cap on and you need to look at what specifically that I did got them results. Was it, for example, if you're using approach number one, where you've got an outbound approach, where you're calling permits that are 5 years old for HVAC companies, or whether you're calling for sale by owner leads, or whether you're calling expired listings. If you're using that type of approach where you're making outbound calls for these types of businesses, what specifically got them that result? You may have made 7,000 calls across the 7 days. Now, for the first 3 days, you got 0 calls booked. But for the last 4 days, you got 2 calls booked. Now, in the last 4 days, you were using script number two. For the first 3 days, you were using script number one. Well, we know that script number one got 0 calls booked. So why would we continue to use script number one if we've already seen that it's not getting us the results that we need it to be getting us? Script number two, on the other hand, has booked us 2 calls. We know that this is specifically something, right, that has got us a result already. We know script number two is the specific thing that we can productize. So we're going to take script number two and include that as part of our package. What was the offer? Right? What was the time of day that you called someone? What was the data source you used? What was the follow-up sequence? You cannot productize something if you do not know why it worked. Now, every single one of you are delivering a different product. You're delivering a different service. You're working with different niches. So for all of you, this is again going to be different. I've put together a step-by-step process for you to be able to identify what actually worked, what to productize, how to productize it universally. It doesn't matter who you're working with. It doesn't matter what you're selling to these people. It doesn't matter what the offer is or how you're delivering it. This is a universal process that applies to every single niche for any offer. What is it that you're doing and how do you productize it? How do you repeat what you were able to do for client number one, for client number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6? Now, you're going to look at exactly what worked, what didn't work, what to keep, and what to remove. If you know, right, that script number one was not working, you're obviously not going to keep using script number one. If you know that script number two was working, then you're obviously going to continue with script number two for clients number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, once you've identified, right, the things that have actually worked, once you've identified, okay, these are the things that I've tested that have worked, these are the things that I've tested that haven't worked, now you know what to actually take and what to actually productize. Now you have a proven system. You've cut out the fluff. You've cut out the things that haven't actually got you a result for that first client, and you've kept the things that have. You've kept the things that have actually got you the result for that first client. Now you need to document everything, right? You're going to take everything that worked and you're going to document it step by step. What I actually want you guys to do is from day one of you working with client number one, I want you to literally document everything. Document exactly what you're doing from day one, what you're doing in day two, what you're doing in day three. Document every single thing, the scripts you're using, the workflows you're using, the offers you're using, the data sources you're using. Document every single thing, because when you document everything, then at the end of the 7-day trial, when you've got this personal result, you can reverse engineer. You can look at your entire process and again, cut out the fluff, cut out the things that didn't genuinely help you get a result, and only keep the things that actually helped you get that first client a result. And then you want to productize it in the form of a snapshot, in the form of, so inside of high level, you can create a snapshot. Inside of NA10, you want to make sure that it's got a blueprint that you can easily upload between different clients. You want to productize things, right? And in step number 3, this is just a universal template that really just applies to whichever niche you're in and whoever you're working with. What are the workflows that actually helped your client get results? What are the templates, the forms, everything that worked for client number 1? You want to take that, productize it into kind of like a snapshot so that you can go and copy and paste this for every single client that you work with. Now, it's going to take you 15 minutes, right, to now onboard a client against the 6 hours that it probably would have taken you to rebuild all of this from scratch. You're taking 7 days worth of work and you're condensing it into 15 minutes. And that's what productizing is. You're building leverage by taking your time and energy across that 7 days and making it infinitely scalable. Taking that time and energy that you put into the 7 days for that first client and being able to profit from it, right? Gain from it, leverage from it every single other client that comes after client number 1. It's going to take you 15 minutes to onboard a client compared to the 7 days that it took you for client number 1. That's what productization is. And in step number 4, this is just the library that I want you guys to build. You need to build processes, right, around every single thing that you're doing for client number 1. What scripts are you using? The ads, the workflows, the onboarding assets. And again, this is here for you guys to actually review and see what is the universal template or universal workflow that I should use when I'm actually creating a snapshot, when I'm creating a digital product. Now, when client number 2 comes down the road, you just go into your library, grab what you need, customize it slightly, and deploy. You're not reinventing the wheel every single time. When you sign client number 2, the idea behind client number 2 is you literally copy and paste exactly what worked for client number 1 for client number 2. You just take everything that worked for client number 1 and paste it in for client number 2. That's the idea behind it. Obviously, you're going to change little things like the company name, the name of the decision maker, and stuff like that. These little things, of course, you're going to change. But ultimately, the framework of what you are delivering stays the exact same. The framework of the service you are delivering stays the exact same. There is really no differentiation in the process between client number 1 and client number 2. There's no differentiation between client number 2 and client number 3. Every single person that you are working with, right, you are essentially giving them access to the same exact thing. You're selling them the same exact thing over and over and over again. And that is the idea behind it. Anyone have any questions so far? No questions? Let's keep going then. Why productization changes everything. Now, let me show you the numbers, right? Let me show you what you should not be doing. Now, really, I've done custom work for people before. And honestly, it's some of the worst decisions that I've made in my life. Doing custom work for people, right? Genuinely, I've been paid 10 to 15K for crazy projects. I've been paid 10 to 15K upfront for crazy amounts of projects, but it's some of the worst decisions that I've made in my life. Why? Because when you have a custom project, right, you can have a basic idea of what you are going to deliver for someone, but you don't actually know the step-by-step process that it's going to take in order for you to be able to deliver it. There's always going to be bumps in the roads. There's always going to be revisions from the client. Can you change this? Can you add that? Can we redo this part? And what you thought would take 20 hours to complete really quickly becomes a 50-hour job. Now, my 10K project very easily becomes $200 per hour. Now, let me actually break that down for you. If I'm spending 50 hours, right, delivering this custom project to a client, let's say I took those 50 hours and I focused it towards selling my productizable, scalable method. If I took 50 sales calls, right, and let's just say I close 50% of people, that's 25 people that I'm closing. Now, I charge 3K upfront and 997 a month, right? From the upfront fees that I get, just from the setup fee, just from the front end cash that I collect, I'm collecting 75K. From the monthly recurring fee that I collect is 25K. So if I took those 50 hours that I spent on a custom project, which I'm only getting paid 10K for, if I took that time and energy and I focused it in towards my agency and growing something that's scalable and productizable, I would have made probably 3 times the amount of money, 7 times the amount of money, right, on the front end, and I would have been making 25K monthly recurring revenue on the back end. I chose 10K instead of 75K and 25K a month. It's just stupid. When you look at custom work, it doesn't make sense for the stress that you are going through. It doesn't make sense for the amount of effort, the amount of time that is required. Look, right now, I don't think a single one of you should be doing anything custom. I think every single one of you should be focused on building something that is scalable and productized. It's stupid trying to do custom work right now because you don't have the resources, you don't have the knowledge, you don't have the expertise, you don't have what it takes in order to even be able to deliver custom work. I got paid 10, 15K per job for custom work and I regretted it. I'm telling you right now, it's one of the worst decisions that I've ever made because custom work, there is no clear scope. You have an idea for what you can build, of course, but there's no clear scope in terms of this is clearly how much time it's going to take for you to complete the job. This is exactly how we want you to do it. It's kind of just figure it out as you go along. And these clients, most of them are going to come to you and say, can you change this? Can you add that? Can we do this? Can we redo that? There's no recurring revenue. Yeah, sure. That 10K looks great on the front end. Sure. When you get paid a lump fee of 10K up front or 15K up front, yeah, it looks great, right? You take a screenshot of that payment that you've got, it looks amazing, right? But when you actually break it down logistically, you're spending 50 hours on that project, you're just getting paid $200 an hour. And again, you become a glorified freelancer. You've created yourself a glorified job, created yourself a glorified technician job, right? That's not what you want to build. You want to build something that is able to grow with or without your time, with or without your energy. Now, you're also the way these clients treat you is insane. Like they think they own you because at this point, you essentially become one of their employees. When someone's paying you 10, 15K, right, upfront for a project, it doesn't matter what they pay you, to be honest. When you are working on custom projects, these clients feel like they own you. It doesn't matter how much they pay you, the expectations that they have on you is insane. When you have productized clients, you're setting the expectations up front. Look, this is what I do. This is exactly how I do it. And this is what you get. You are the expert. You're in control. When you take the expectation and you set it very clearly from the jump, from day number one, there's no room for error. There's no room for, oh, can we do this as well? Or can we do that as well? Or I thought I get this, or I thought I get that. It's very, very clear what these clients can expect from you. Every custom project starts from scratch. And you're not building a business, you're building a job. Productized services scale, you build it one time, you sell it 100 times. Now, not a single one of you should be compromising. I have one system, I follow one process, I don't make compromises. You want something custom? Sorry, this is what I do. If you want me to fix your website, look, I don't specifically help with websites. I can maybe refer you to someone who does, but this isn't something that I'm going to be helping you with. Client wants you to manage their social media, not our specialty. Be strict on what you do and don't do. Most of you on here, if your client comes to you with an extra request, you're going to snatch at that request. You're going to grab it up as quickly as you can. And it kind of goes against what I told you, right? Get your first client, get your first free trial client by whatever means possible. But this is not the way to be doing it. By doing custom work and just snatching whatever you can, looking for a quick buck. Remember, we are in this for the long-term game. Be strict on what you do and what you don't do. Be strict on who you work with and who you don't work with. Why? Because when you can focus, right? When you can just deliver one specific product to one specific market, you sell one specific solution and solve one specific problem, you can stay focused. You get really good at what you're doing. You get really good at that one specific thing that you have built yourself as an authority in. You can productize. You can't productize if every single person that you're working with wants something different. And you maintain quality. When you're just repeating the same thing over and over and over and over again, you're getting better at it every single time. You're iterating your product every single time. And at this point, when you are working with multiple clients at the level that I was working with multiple clients, selling them the exact same thing over and over and over again, you become the specialist in your field. The riches are in the niches, right? And the riches are in focus. I want you to focus on one specific thing that you are doing for one specific client, solving one specific problem in one specific way. That is the whole reason why day one was focused on one thing only: who you're working with, what you're doing for them, how you're doing it. In day 6, the same principle applies. You want to make sure that now all you are doing is taking what you did for client number 1, taking those same principles and being able to scale it, being able to grow it past the point of just one client. You want to get to 10 clients selling the same exact thing. Now, when you have a productized system, onboarding comes fast. It takes you 15 minutes to onboard a client, right? 15 minutes to onboard the client, show them the system, get them up and running. Now, let's go down over into here. One client for me took me 4 hours a month. I was sitting down with them once a week, and literally just breaking down, hey, these are the results that we've got you in the last week. This is how many calls we've made for you. This is how many appointments we've booked for you. This is how much revenue that you can potentially make from the calls that we book from you. Essentially, all I'm doing is just showing them, hey, this is exactly why you should keep paying me every single month. Because without me, you're not going to have these results coming in. Without me, I'm not just being a bot builder or someone who launches ads or just a low-level agency. I want to position myself as the consultant who can charge those high ticket prices because I deliver a system that solves a high value problem for them. And on top of that, I'm sitting down with them every single week and showing them, hey, this is why I'm worth what you're paying me. And this is why you should keep paying me. And this is actually what I'm going to do to make the system even better for you every single day. You take your clients through a process once a week. It took me 4 hours a month. And all 4 of those hours are getting spent on me just speaking to them. That one team member that I have, they're handling the service. I've productized it already. I've built systems around it already. I've created an operating procedure that they can just follow without me. The only thing I'm doing is just speaking to my clients once a week. Now, if you have 25 clients, right? Let's say you're spending 30 minutes per week on a call, 5 minutes per day on updates. That's like 2.5 hours per month. With 4 hours, let's say, for example, 2.5 hours per client per month, or 4 hours per client per month. If you have 25 clients, you're spending 100 hours a month. That's 25 hours a week. It's basically a part-time job. You're building something that's highly scalable, highly productizable, and you're spending what, 25 hours a week when you have 25 clients? Break it down. From 25 clients, right? Let's say you sign 25 clients, and let's be super pessimistic. Let's say your setup fee is $1,500. Let's say you're not even charging $3K. Let's say you're charging $1,500. You charge 25 clients $1,500. That's 37.5K that you would have made on the front end. Now, that's just the front end. Let's say each client is paying you, again, let's be super pessimistic. Let's say $697 a month. 697 times 25. That's $17,500 that you're making in monthly recurring revenue. And you're spending what, 25 hours a week on just speaking to people? You're not even delivering the service yourself at this point. You have a proven system. You have case studies, you have a productized delivery, you have fast onboarding, and you have low maintenance. Spending 4 hours per client. This is the exact path that you are going to use to scale. By the time you're on your 6 months in, to be honest, by the time you're 6 months in, you should already be at 25 to 30 clients, 25 to 30K monthly recurring revenue, working 25 to 30 hours a week, which is completely sustainable. Now, most people make the same mistakes, saying yes to everything, building custom for each client, no documentation, taking every client that they can, just taking anyone. It doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter what expectations they have. They will work with anyone and everyone. And they don't productize. They don't make their life easier by productizing everything into snapshots. They don't make their life any easier by productizing and being able to scale. Now, your day 6 action steps. I want to go over everything that worked for client number 1, create those snapshots, build an asset library, and go through all of this stuff. Go through day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. Go over all of these days again. Go over all of these days again and make sure that you are implementing everything that we cover. Everything we've covered over the last 6 days, right? Everything we've covered over the last 6 days, if you follow it to a T, genuinely, if you follow it to a T, you have to be an idiot to not get results. You either have to be an idiot to not get results or you have to be lazy as hell. Because if you can take everything that we're doing over these last 6 days, how many people are inside the school community? 1,200 maybe? How many people are on these calls every single day? You see the same faces every single day, right? How many people opted into the actual training and showing up here? Over like 300 people opted in across my Facebook, YouTube, school communities. How many people have showed up every single day? The difference between those people who just, I want to do that 6 day challenge, they don't show up. The difference between them and you is being able to implement with speed. Every single thing that I go over is covered in speed. Every time I onboard a client, it takes me 15 minutes to onboard them. Same day, within the same day that I sign that client, I'm delivering the service for them. Every single thing that I do is done with speed. Now, when you can operate with speed, right? The speed at which you operate is the speed at which you break those barriers. In 6 months from now, you can genuinely have 20 to 25 to 30 clients paying you 997 a month. In 12 months, you can have 50 plus clients. In 24 months from now, you can have 100 clients. That's the power of building something that's productized and scalable, not a freelance hustle, but a real business, right? Focus on what we covered on day one. Stick to this. Don't start looking at these different shiny objects and doing different things. Focus on the thing that we have decided that we are going to do from day one. Now, we covered a lot, right? We covered a lot over these last 6 days. We covered who we're working with, what we're doing for them, how we're doing it. We covered the acquisition systems that we're going to use to get these people into our calendar. We covered the sales side of things, how to convert these people, how to onboard these people, how to deliver to these people, how to get them results, how to build leverage, how to build case studies, and today, how to scale and build something that's productizable. But all of this stuff that we covered over the last 6 days is surface level. Let's be honest, surface level. How much detail can I give you today? How much detail did I give you today on how to actually build something that's scalable and productizable, how to actually build that digital product, what to include inside of that digital system that's productizable and scalable? It's surface level, right? You still need the how. You still need the specific tools to use, what exact scripts to use for your voice system, what workflows to build, what snapshots to deploy, what automations to set up. Everything we covered over the last 6 days, you need it, right? We've covered it at a high level. Of course, you can take this 6 day challenge, implement it yourself. And like I said, you have to be an idiot or you have to be extremely lazy to not actually get something out of this challenge. Or you can just access everything that we covered over these last 6 days, join the private cohort, which begins from next week, get access to every single one of the systems that I've used in order to sign 50 plus clients, in order to service 50 plus clients, in order to build a digital scalable agency where you get deeper training one on one. You get one on one feedback on your system, your game plans, everything we've covered over the last 6 days. We go in depth. The exact automations you need to grow, the exact automations you're going to use to acquire clients, the exact systems you're going to use to fulfill those clients, everything you need to execute, right? What you learned, you get given to you plug and play. You don't need to figure it all out yourself. Every single thing that we've covered over the last 6 days is literally just uploaded it to your accounts. There you go. Here's exactly how you launch it. And within the same day of you getting access, you're up and running. Within the same day of you getting access, you can be applying to 5, 6, 700 job applications a day. Within the same day of you getting access, you can launch your client's voice AI system within the same day. You can have that voice system calling 1,000 people a day. The same voice system that I've sold 50 plus times. The same voice system that I've used to book 97 jobs for one client in 7 days. All of these things are just parts, very small benefits of what you get access to. Now, there's a ton of affiliates out there. Let's be honest, there's a ton of people who have paid communities, a ton of people who have affiliate links. What is it that ultimately in the space, we're in a space full of marketers, what is it, right, that most of these people give to you? Shiny objects, reputation management, this AI, that AI. Ultimately, nobody is showing you the step-by-step process that you should use in order to ultimately get what your bigger picture is. I'm not a fool. I know exactly why all of you are on this call here today. The only reason you're here today is for that bigger picture. You want to sign more clients. And every single thing we've covered over the last 6 days is to do what? This is the journey that we are going to use to get you your bigger picture. This is how we are going to sign you more clients. You don't care about the system itself. You don't care about the 6 day game plan itself. You don't care about the 6 day challenge itself. The only thing that matters is the actual step by step process, right? Is your ultimate goal, is your bigger picture. How do I sign more clients? Now, every single thing that's given away in my paid mastermind, in my affiliate, when you sign up with Go High Level using my link, every single thing that's given away serves the main purpose of actually helping you sign more clients. I'm not giving you a bullshit system and telling you, hey, go implement this shiny object for local businesses with no direction on how to sell it, with no direction on how to get people interested in it, with no direction on how to even fulfill it once you get someone interested. Every single thing that you are getting access to is something that I've already sold myself. It's something that I've already implemented myself. Every single thing has been battle tested across 50 plus of my own clients. Now, for all of you on the call here today, previously to join the mastermind, if you are not an affiliate, it's $297 a month. Right now, today, to sign up to that mastermind, to sign up to the paid cohort, which is going to start from next week, it is $197 a month. I dropped the link inside of the chat. If anyone has any questions about what we covered over the last 6 days or so, shoot. Yes, Norman. So like I mentioned, it's released in tiers. Now, if you want everything released in one go, it's 1970. 1970 unlocks everything in one go, and every single thing that I release over the next year, you get direct access to. If you sign up for 197, it's released in tiers. So you get something released today, this month, then next month, something else releases, and it's dependent on what you want unlocked for yourself. What are we accomplishing under each tier, and how many tiers are there? Good question, Jacob. So if you click on the link that I sent inside of the chat, it will break down what are the differences between the tiers. So there's 3 different tiers. There's tier number 1, which is when you sign up as a $97 a month affiliate, you just get access to one system, and that's it. You're capped at one system, and that's it. If you sign up to $297 a month, you get 2 of my systems unlocked. And if you sign up as a $497 a month affiliate, you get access to everything, which is released monthly. So you'll get something released every single month. And if you sign up directly to the $197 a month mastermind, you get access to everything as well. So same benefit as the $497. When you click on that link I sent in the chat, Jacob, you'll see everything that you get access to broken down in a lot more detail. Awesome. Which courses will help me outreach to realtors? I'm going to send you a link inside of the chat, Norman. I want you to review this. It's the same system I use to reach out to realtors myself. Check this video out. It's the same video I covered, which shows exactly how I booked 850 calls in 4 months of 2025 using this same system. I booked 850 calls. Check that link out, Norman. I see you have voice AI. Do you also have customer reviews as a service as well? No, I've never sold customer reviews, to be honest. So it's not something that I include. Like I mentioned, I only include things inside of there that I have actually sold to people before. I don't want to be giving you just random shiny objects that don't mean anything. This is something different, Norman. Click on the link and you'll see what it is. Awesome. Who else we got inside of here? Sherry, what is up? Darren, what's up? We got Juan. Darren, have you been here over the last 6 days? I think I've seen you yesterday. Have you joined all 6 days or just the last 2 days? It's first and yesterday. All good. I'm going to be releasing the recordings on Monday. What's the difference between DeepSeek and voice AI? Are you asking about the systems? So okay. I'd recommend you watch the videos, Jacob. The DeepSeek system is a chatbot system, and the voice AI system is a voice AI system. So this is the voice AI system. It's in the free resource hub in the classrooms of the school community. And the DeepSeek system right here, this is a chatbot system that works across SMS, email, Facebook. I'll check these 2 videos out. If you want the specifics in terms of the systems, these are 2 of the many systems you get access to when you sign up as an affiliate or when you join my paid mastermind. So who is ready for the private cohort? Who's already in the private cohort? I think a lot of you guys are already in the private cohort. I think Sherry, you're part of the private cohort. Are you not? Gregory, I know you are. Lauren, I think you are. Mansour, I know you are. Rochelle, I know you are. Who else? Who's missing out on the private cohort? We begin next week. I'm going to be releasing the dates this weekend also. Juan, someone else, let's go. Drop me a message, please, Juan, once you sign up so I can unlock those benefits for you and so I can also send you the invitation for the private cohort, which is beginning next week. I think everyone on the call is actually a part of the private cohort, or am I speaking too early? No, there's two or three. I don't want to call out any names. What's going on, guys? We're about to wrap this 6-day challenge up. We're about to start the private cohort where every single one of the systems that you see inside of the free resource guide is literally given away to you, plug and play, implemented inside of your Go High Level account, copy and paste inside of your NAN accounts. The same systems I've used to go and find me these expired listings, these for sale by owner leads. The same systems I've used to go and find me these expired permits, for these 5-year-old permits for HVAC systems, using those permits to call for my clients, make them an offer. Every single thing we've covered over the last 6 days, you get access to. Andy, you've been here every single one of the 6 days. Actually, were you here yesterday, Andy? When does the private cohort start? I'll be releasing the dates this weekend. So I'm going to be doing a survey once we jump off the call, just to, make sure that we start the private cohort on a day that everyone is most active, or everyone votes as the most suitable. We're going to be using that day as the private cohort, but it's going to be released in the private channel. So only people who are in that private cohort right now, we're going to have like a private channel. Only those people are going to be able to access. What else, guys? What else? Any questions? 6 days. 6-day challenge complete. What is 6 days it has been? Tell me, what have you guys thought of the challenge? Have you guys enjoyed the challenge? Have you guys been implementing the stuff we covered over the last 6 days? Tell me inside the chat. What do you think of the 6-day challenge, or what should we cover in the next challenge? Darren says awesome. Rochelle says awesome. So everything is unlocked in the private cohort, or just 2 courses? Norman, when you're signing up on the 297 a month plan, you only get 2 systems. If you sign up on the 497 a month plan with high level, you get access to everything. If you sign up to the 197 a month direct access, you get access to everything as well. Everything was awesome. All I need is access to the bot so I can start to fly. Yes, Gregory, please drop me a message, my man. I think I told you yesterday as well. Please drop me a message so I can unlock that stuff for you. Taking the action steps. Love it, Rochelle. How many job applications have you guys done so far? Those of you in the private cohort are going to love me forever when I unlock that automation that applies to the jobs for you. Lauren says, yes, we've been using the methods. Some at least 150 over the past 3 days. Okay, not bad, not bad. What about everyone else? How many job applications have you guys been doing? I just checked the school channel. I've applied to a lot of jobs. Same. Awesome. Rochelle says, not enough. Look, once you guys are, I think, Rochelle, you're a part of the private cohort anyways, you're going to get access to the automation that just does 500, 600, 700 a day for you in complete automation. So you don't even need to worry about applying to those jobs. Now, of course, when you're doing it manually, it's a challenge for sure. When you're doing it manually, going through every single application a day, searching up for the business owner, searching up for the decision maker, it can definitely be a process. When you do that in automation, you don't even lift a finger and it's all being done for you. Darren, are you getting into the private cohort? Andy, are you getting into the private cohort? Jacob, I know you just joined us, I think today or yesterday. Where's Lisa at? Let's go, Darren. Drop me a message, please. Everyone who is joining the private cohort, everyone who is signing up, just drop me a message on school as soon as you have done so I can send you over the details where we start next week. Joined yesterday. All good, Jacob. The recordings are going to be released on Monday on my YouTube. Jamie's hiding over there too. Jamie, are you getting in? Jamie's been another superstar. He's been here all 6 days. And don't forget, in about a couple of minutes, I'm going to be looking over the school community. I'm actually going to make a post today choosing those lucky winners to join the private cohort. Flying at the moment. Oh yes, Jamie, you told us you're on a plane. I completely forgot. Tuning in from the sky. What's up, Andy? Andy has also been here all 6 days, Andy, right? Awesome. Andy, you haven't told us what you thought of the 6-day challenge. You've been here all 6 days. What have you thought of it? Are you doing all the steps? Awesome. Let's go. Then let's get this thing wrapped up, guys. One last time, I'm going to drop the link inside of the chat. Anyone who is signing up to the private cohort, anyone who's joining as an affiliate, anyone who's signing up directly to the paid community, do so using this link, please. And once you have done so, drop me a message, right? Drop me a message on school so that I can unlock all the benefits for you and so that we can begin, right? So we can begin the private cohort next week. All of you who are on this call today, regardless of whether you're joining the private cohort or not. Thank you for being a part of the challenge. It has definitely been a journey. We've been together for 6 days now. Every single one of you have been showing up. People like Andy, Lauren, Gregory, Lisa, guys who have been super active in the community, also showing up to the calls daily. Well done, guys. Give yourselves a pat on the back because you've invested 6 hours of your time over the last week to show up here today and actually take the right steps towards moving closer towards that bigger goal. Now, all of you who are in the private cohort, I can't wait to show you what we've got in store. I can't wait to show you all the cool things that we're going to be building together, all the things we're going to be implementing to get you to that bigger picture within the next 30 days. So drop a thumbs up, drop some reactions, post about it, tell me what you guys thought about it. And if you guys have any questions, just drop me a message inside of the school community. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this. See you on the next one.